rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rock and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Y'all know what to do. Get them hands up. Get that energy up. Y'all know what it is. It's blue tears, orange tears, orange tears. Let's go. Trey, what's good, man?
Not the game, but there's a lot of tears tonight, clearly.
Yeah, man.
A little disappointed in the result, but it is what it is.
Bro,
there's just a lot of things that went wrong.
A lot of things like what, boss?
I'm not gonna place blame on the refs, but a lot of the calls were one sided tonight. That's part of it, but I feel like we got out schemed a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of lazy effort, notably from Randall, and I'm not about to make it the Julius Randle blame show, but maybe it's the ankle, but a lot of lackadaisical effort. We couldn't squeeze a lot of those long rebounds. And it's funny enough, we didn't have to deal with long rebounds when we faced the Cavs.
Right.
But all these free throw line extended rebounds were cluttered and slow and beat up and just dragged, and we just looked like a step slower.
We got out rebounded for the second game in a row.
Yeah, it's third game we got out rebounded total, I believe.
Yeah, man.
And it's the only thing I will say that I don't like. Kyle Lowry is a scumbag. That's all I have to say about how he plays and the things he does on the court. I would appreciate it if it was on our team, but a lot of it is just some fugazi. It's not even basketball what he's doing half the time. It's just he's hooking dudes, he's yanking guys, he's going in between.
Hold on. So wait a minute. So you're telling me that Kyle Lowry will do whatever it is he has to do to win? Is basically what you're telling me.
Yeah, we have guys that won't do that.
Right, and we don't have guys that'll do that. So when a champion does whatever he has to do to win, and you
have to commend it at some point.
Yeah.
Because if you're if Kyle Lowry was on the Knicks, Bam Adebayo would not get away with all those screens because he would be flying into every screen and flopping every type of content. It is what it is. It's a learning experience for a lot of the younger guys. I won't put it all on lack of experience. There's certain things that you have to do, that you know that you have to do when you're out there on the court.
Right.
And we just didn't do it. And Tibbs did it all right, so I can't put it on him.
Tibbs coached a lot better tonight than he did. Tibbs did a lot of stuff during the game. He did so many different things that I tried to point him out during the game, but Corey Lee was calling it, and I didn't want to keep jumping in and cutting him off. But Tibbs did a lot of different things tonight.
Yeah, he
And
did.
and you know what? This is not even in my opinion. In my opinion, this is not tonight wasn't a Tom Thibodeau coaching issue, though some of his strategies
I
fell
don't
short.
like doubling Jimmy Butler every single time he gets the ball. I can't get that. I can't get with that.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that though. Even though Tibbs showed that was probably a different look than what Miami was used to seeing. Hey, you got an echo? Was that me?
Uh, no, I'm good. You hear an echo? I
Yeah.
might be because my audio is really loud in my headset. One second.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, you good? Am I good? I'm straight.
Sound like it. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah. But I don't think Spoelstra put on a coaching clinic around Tibbs.
I don't think
Right.
he had to adjust like what Spoelstra implemented from game one is basically the same stuff he's been doing the entire series. He hasn't had to adjust. He made most of his adjustments coming into the series, and
Okay.
he stuck to like what they do, and it's working. And what got us to this round is not going to get us to the next round against what Spoelstra has planned.
Okay.
So I can appreciate a lot that I've seen this series this season and growth in certain players in the playoffs. A little bit disappointed in the results. The process was great up until this series, but a lot of the process was bad in the series. And
Um.
I can't put that on one particular
Dre,
person or one particular player. Yeah. What's up,
Dre,
Corey?
Dre. Hey, how you doing, bro? Nice to
What's
hear
up?
from you, man.
Lee, you sound
Yeah.
Lee, you sound crackly, bro.
I'm sorry. Let me do something like this.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Why
I'm gonna fix up.
no, I ain't gonna hold on. Go ahead and fix it. We just gonna go ahead and chop it up while you working on that. Hey, so Miguel P, thank you for the generous contribution. Miguel P says, I'm about to be done with the WWF/NBA. Bro, and yo, just really quick. Yo, this is what playoff basketball look like.
When yeah, like when we talk about the Heat, they win within the margins. They know how to foul without getting called for fouls.
Yeah.
They know how to draw foul. This comes with the experience. This comes with years of playoff basketball experience and craftiness. And then when you see fouls being drawn or on particular players, it's and it's the same suspects. It's you're not seeing these fouls with Struess or Duncan Robinson. You're seeing the game shifting plays that come from Bam Adebayo
Hey,
in terms of
let me ask you this: okay? So is Kyle Lowry knowing what you saw? Is Kyle Lowry worth his contract?
Hold on a second. Can I answer that question? Because yes, he is.
You still crackly though. What happened?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't understand. It's the same system. Forgive me, but I will say this, and I'll go on mute after this.
No. It sounds better now. Something I don't know what was going on, bro.
I don't know what it maybe because of my internet, but I'm gonna say this, yeah. Wow, I'm gathering my thoughts real quick. My thoughts are this:
Okay.
the referees was trash. I'm not gonna argue with nobody, but it does not expel the fact that we did not show up. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. At the end of the day, we did not knock down the shots that we needed to knock down, and we didn't do what we were supposed to do as Knicks. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks got totally taken out of their game. Tonight, we got taken out of our game. Attacking the basket, being the only person in the game that have kept doing it is the one that we've been crying about getting rid of for the last 3 games. You know, the whole season, the whole season, is RJ Barrett. the game did not change or get worse until he got taken out of it. We saw that clearly, Freezy. And I will not stand up and stand alone and be like, yo, it's okay. But it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? So I digress on all of that. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot more to say, but I'll fall back until I get
I,
a chance to get my thoughts together again.
I think I think the only thing I can even have a gripe with Tibbs is a little bit of an over reliance on Josh Hart to do
Facts.
to do everything. Like Josh Hart is a good player ultimately, but he is a role player.
Facts.
He won't decide the entire series himself. You have to live within his means. You have to be you have to be mindful. We didn't lose the series because of bad defense. We lost the series because we couldn't generate enough offense.
The series ain't over.
Well, we're
Yeah,
losing the series because we
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
generate
yeah,
enough offense.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
and and
hold on a
what
second,
worked?
Hey,
Dre, before
Lee,
you.
let him finish. Let him finish.
Oh, I want to say like what worked in a prior series. It doesn't work every series. Like if you're watching, I don't know if you were watching this Laker game, but they're pulling guys off their bench that didn't play at all the prior series because they see what works in a particular series in a particular matchup. And when you see Josh Hart struggling on both ends, you kind of have to pull the reins in. But it is what it is.
All right,
You
hey,
can
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Lee.
Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead, Lee.
I so apologize for cutting you off, bro. But
You good?
the point of it all, the politics of the game is not working in us because we just do not have the superstar narrative to win this game or get these lucky bounces of calls that go our way. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back to my narrative. My narrative stays the same. Is because it's political to the sense of we have not been able to execute our game because we have not won the crowd of the referees. It's been like that the last three games, and it's been specifically certain fouls. We're not allowed to go downhill on offense. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett has done it, and he's very elusive on getting away from people, getting through them, sideswiping everything, and going to the lane. He may score, he may not score. Cool. When Grimes went to the lane, he got a shot blocked, and nobody called a foul, and that was a very physical play. And I'm not saying that was the turning point of it all, because still at the end of the day, we still have to execute.
You have to
You
fight
know
through
what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, exactly. But the fact that when the fight is taken from you, and I hate to sound like a whiner about something simple, but still, if we can go back and watch this game again, because I sat back and watched most of it all over again, and I'm looking at certain calls, and I'm like, oh, a certain lack of calls, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Some of those Josh Hart
Yeah.
calls were egregiously bad
Right.
coming down the stretch. It was just like, come on, man.
Right.
But
Thank
but
you.
this comes with like experience. Well, like you don't beat the like this team. This Miami Heat team is reminding me of the like the mid 2000s Pistons where they're just not dead until you kill them. No matter what iteration they are, from like '03 to like 2008 or whatever, they're at a conference finals every
Right.
year.
Okay.
No matter what iteration of their
Okay.
roster is, they're just there because they're well
Okay,
coached, they're
but
disciplined, and they have the experience, and they have the knowledge, and they have the craftiness. So you got to give them credit.
exactly. But with that said, and I agree with you. No, hold on a second. I totally agree with you, young man. I totally agree with you. But the problem I have with our team, is that the fact that we lack the fight to just be like, you know what? If we're gonna be bullies, let's be bullies all the way. You understand what I'm saying? until we are totally taken out of the game. We got taken out of the game before we even had the fact of laying our imprint on the game.
I want to say this before we get Mets in.
Wait, hold it. No, hold on. Yeah, relax. We're gonna be all right. So Justo, thank you, Justo11. Thank you for the generous contribution. Justo says, felt like poor IQ versus high IQ. Randall comment sounds like some of the guys' heart isn't in it. To win, that scares me. Do y'all believe in the bench guys? Let me just say, I want to say something to what Dre said before we let everybody in here, and it turned into, until it turned into random asinine comments and stuff like that.
Stuff is not basketball.
Yeah. Let me first say this. Lee, to your comment, bro. You my man, 50 grand. But what it sound like to me is that your team got beat, and we got to find excuses for that team getting beat. Lee, my man, 50 grand. Lee, my man. That Lee is my guy. Me and him, he and I watched the game together, right? But the referee part, that's always gonna be we never gonna be able to get the NBA to say that they referees are not the best in the world, right? And then to the second part of that, man, there was some long shots that the Miami Heat were willing to lay their body on the line to go get, and our guys' feet were stuck in cement.
Half a step behind.
Like they didn't value the basketball, and the Miami Heat wanted the basketball. They were running into each other trying to get the basketball, while we saw numerous times our guys were ball watching. And secondly, and more importantly, because I know cats are gonna want to get into Tibbs, right? But there were multiple plays where we just saw poor execution. When Lee and I were together, right? I pointed out the fact that Josh Hart and Obi Toppin came down the floor together with Max Strus and Bam Adebayo, and Josh Hart intentionally guarded Bam, and Obi did not wave him off and guarded Max Strus giving a perimeter pass, and Josh Hart gave up a dunk inside.
Hey,
Tom Thibodeau don't have nothing. Tibbs don't have nothing to do. Don't have nothing to do with that. That is a Josh Hart of Lee. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all was talking, bro, I just sat here. I ain't say nothing. Relax.
Go ahead, baby.
Relax. We good. We got time. Bro, what I'm saying is Josh Hart, a veteran, on the same side of the floor with a young player, right? Set the young player up for failure. But not only did the young player know it was wrong at the time, he did nothing about it. A big on a big in the post is the way this thing is supposed to go. A small on the small is the perimeter is how this thing's supposed to go. Josh Hart grabbed and Bam Adebayo so he can guard him, and Obi Toppin was standing there right there. That has nothing to do with Tom Thibodeau, right? And these plays were all over the place. When there was a scramble for a loose ball, Quentin Grimes reached for it. He saw that he couldn't get it. He backed up. He saw the pass go behind him to Bam Adebayo, catching it on a launch pad. And Quentin Grimes and Julius Randle allowed Bam Adebayo to get onto a launch pass and dunk. That has nothing. That has
sound
nothing
like
to do.
Lack of effort and lack of IQ on the play.
Right, right. You know, Bam Adebayo. If that was Mitchell Robinson with
I'm
Miami
not
Heat,
gonna say IQ.
Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
No. I'm not gonna say IQ. That's not IQ. That was clearly you are so correct when you said lack of execution, lack of hustle. We got pumped. Period.
It's lack of savvy too. Like you can cry about the refs. Oh, my bad, Lee. My bad. Go ahead.
Great.
Go ahead.
And I hate to cut you off, Freezy. And I
No, you're not
do
cutting me off.
apologize.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, we got pumped We got punked. Instead of putting down what we supposed to be putting down, we are the New York Knicks and we look like the New York Chicks. Real talk, man. I'm sitting here and I'm digesting this. I'm digesting this more and more as I watch. I'm sitting here watching the game again. And we did not, we allowed two things. Like I said one more time, I allowed the referees to take us out of what we do, and we did not execute what we are supposed to do. Instead of just saying, F all y'all, this is what we're going to do, and we keep doing it. And we did not do what we're supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
I'm gonna put it this way: like, you can blame the refs all you want. Ultimately, it takes a certain level of savvy to know how to manipulate the physicality in the NBA, especially in the playoffs. You would like to see, like, there's been so many times Bam Adebayo sets a moving screen, and we don't exacerbate the contact. We don't flop. We just let it happen. Instead of, like, there's so many times Quinn Grimes gets caught up in an illegal screen. All he has to do is fall, and they'll call something, but he just tries to fight through it. Like, these things that you see, these are the things that the Miami Heat practice. The things that you don't account for.
And I agree. No, and I agree. But also to fight through it to the fence, to where we can make it seem like we're fighting through it and we're being beat the F up going through these things. You understand what I'm saying? There's always two ways of saying it. We can be the victim on both parts of it all, but we're not being the victim. We're just being the villain. You understand what I'm saying? We're not selling our game the way it needs to be sold. You understand what I'm saying?
This is a team that's been here. We haven't been here.
Right.
Exactly.
You're not gonna get the benefit of the doubt. You're not gonna cry about it. Like, you gotta play within the confines of how things are being called.
Right. Again, bro. I
totally agree. I totally agree with both y'all saying. I totally, and I'm not trying to be whack.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be whack about it.
It sound like you wanted the Knicks to go begging to the refs. At some point, you got to step up and play, bro. You a player. The referees didn't help you get to the NBA. You made it to every player in the NBA made it because they got NBA talent. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To just say this thing about, we didn't get the calls from the refs. We didn't get the calls from the refs. Bro, I gave examples on how the Knicks could have turned their own tide, and they didn't. Right? On how the Knicks could have. Okay, go ahead, bro.
No. Finish. Say you know what I'm saying.
No. What I'm getting at is, as Knicks fans, bro, we can't have on one side we have this bravado and be like, we the mecca of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, this man, the city, blah blah blah. And then when we step between the lines, we looking at the ref to bail us out.
Facts. You are so correct.
Ref can't bail you out.
But you got to show some as okay. So what was happening when Quentin Grimes was missing all those shots? Did it have anything to do with the refs? No,
that was Quentin Grimes.
Matter of fact, the turnovers were the issue.
Right. That had nothing to do with the refs. The Knicks had 3 starters score 20 points, bro. What did everybody else do?
Not a damn thing.
They don't have nothing to do with the refs.
They didn't get rebounds for one.
Right. Yep.
There was mediocre effort on closeouts for 2.
Right. Kyle Lowry, and I pointed this out when me and Lee was watching the joint. Kyle Lowry went up and jumped in between Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and got an offensive rebound. And I pointed it out to Lee when it actually happened. I was like, Lee, did you just see that? Kyle Lowry jumped up in between Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and got an offensive rebound. That has nothing to do with the refs. That's all heart.
Grimes wasn't boxing out a single soul tonight at 27. We'll say he wasn't putting his backside or body on anybody. He was just running out there with like a chicken with his head. If we could put Grimes and Hart together, it would be a hell of a basketball player.
Right.
But Grimes isn't there mentally yet. He
No.
doesn't have the experience, and the gap between the skill is the reason why Josh Hart isn't really playable. Well, he's playable,
Right.
but you can't have him out there for 35, 36 minutes.
And
Just can't.
And here's another one. Here's another example, right? The ball goes out of bounds, right? Is heat ball, right? Is heat ball. The Knicks have somebody guard the inbounder, right? The inbounder allows the person guarding the inbound for the Knicks allows the inbounder to throw a bounce pass to Jimmy Butler under the rim, and then Jimmy Butler goes up for a easy layup under the rim. What does that have to do with the refs? Nothing.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen, you are so correct. And I'm gonna sound like Nev the Destructor, or Disruptor, but psychologically we got taken out of this game early, because we did not get. Come on, man.
Go ahead, bro. My bad for cutting you off. My bad. Go ahead.
And not to say that nothing that you all have said was not correct. You all, both of y'all are so right and poignant on your points. But the fact of the matter is that when Grimes went to the basket to try to get that dunk, what happened? It got blocked. It got called a block, and it was what it was, and not the fact that it was called a foul.
But this is the thing, Corey.
No. Hold on a second. Stop. Let me finish, man. That adds to the psychological aspect of the game. When someone was thinking like, yo, I should either get the foul or the dunk. Do you not get that? Because anytime
this is the experience. Yeah, finish it.
I know. I understand what you're saying.
He asked you a rhetorical question. I didn't know. I thought he was asking us to.
Yeah.
See, son, what that's saying is like, you know what I'm saying? Son does not understand that you're supposed to still go right back at the basket the same way again. Because I don't believe you.
This is the thing, though. Likely, with experience, Grimes wouldn't even go for the dunk. You know that, right? With experience, he would slow down, measure, throw his body at the defender, just like Jimmy Butler does, time and time again. Jimmy Butler has the capability to dunk on anybody he wants to. You know that, right? But he takes a measured approach. He slows down. He baits defenders and gets them in fouls, and then he finishes. Grimes didn't really have to go for a dunk there. He could have put up a layup with his left hand, but he slowed down, loaded up, and tried to punch it on him. Which, I mean, in theory, you want to go up strong, right? But sometimes you have to be mindful of who you're going up against, context, and being able to be savvy. But this is anything that comes with experience. I think Grimes will handle that in a different way.
Let me
as he gets older.
So just want to say just one thing real quick before we put the link in the chat, and then everything, just whole conversation just goes in a weird direction.
Goes to hell.
Yeah, like it normally do. Like you can't. Like
I'm gonna tell you right now. I love you boys. For this shit go left. Excuse my language.
I'll try to help keep it going to basketball. Hey Max, when you get on here, make sure it's basketball, Max. Basketball.
So just real quick, man, before everybody come up, man. For one, I'm gonna say this to you, and I didn't really want to say it before the series, because you know how you want to root for your team.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think this team was mentally prepared to play a second round series.
No, I don't.
No, I agree. I agree.
But, I saw that. when I saw them losing in the first game. Not that Miami's not a good team, because I want to give Miami credit, right? I want to give them credit for being a good team, because you don't get to the second round of the NBA playoffs without being a good team. But when I saw the Knicks in game one, I think the Knicks felt like they could just throw their jerseys out here because they was a higher because they was a higher seed than Miami. Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what?
that
You
I
know,
think that's I
But
think that's
but but when
wait,
you
hold on.
my
Freezy,
bad.
Let me
Freezy,
Yeah, yeah. All right,
hold on,
let
y'all.
me do that. Let me do
Let me finish. You
Freezy,
can't
you are
jump
so
off.
correct.
Yo, so it's one thing. It's one thing when you are the hunter, right? When you the hunter,
Mm,
you have a
mm,
certain mindset, right?
preach.
But how do you act and react when you're the hunted? See, in this
Preach.
series right here, the Knicks are the hunted. They the highest seed. The series start on a floor. Miami is hunting down the Knicks, not because they want the Knicks. It's because they want what's beyond the Knicks,
Get
right?
through them.
But the Knicks come into the playoffs as the hunter, and then they get the Cleveland Cavaliers and get to a place far beyond
Well, we feel like we are anointed,
what everybody expected, right?
and we were not the anointed one. We are not anointed. I'm
Right.
sorry
So
to cut you.
now, what ultimately what I'm getting at is you could see in game one the Knicks felt like, oh, it's only Miami. They only won such and such amount of games. You know what I'm saying? I know they just knocked off Giannis, the number one seed, and a two-time MVP and all of that. But we're the Knicks, and Miami is Madison Square Garden South. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
All of this stuff, man, all of this stuff. You read your press clippings, and you get this false sense of security, and come to find out, this team that we slept on is putting someone. I'm telling. I saw looks in their face in game two. I saw a look in their face in game two, and I was like, in my mind, and listen, I'm telling y'all after the fact. I didn't want to say it when it was happening, but I saw the Knicks face in game two. Like, man, this team looked like they could get swept off the floor by Miami, lose 4 games to nothing. Right?
Can I say something real quick?
Because
No, finish what you're
no,
saying,
go,
but
go,
I
no,
do
go
want to
ahead,
say
go ahead, bro.
no. You know what I'm saying? This is what we needed. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you know what I'm saying on some real that's you know what I'm saying on some real stuff. You know what? If we're gonna be somebody in the near future, we need to go through this. The whole entire team, and we gotta grow up from this. Because if Julius Randle is gonna be our leader, or whether Brunson is gonna be our leader, or RJ Barrett's gonna be our leader, they need to get this taste in their mouth and understand what it tastes like. Get what it tastes like because you know what I'm saying. These cats that we played have been through the battles of them all, and they've been there to the pinnacle of the championships and lost. And this particular team that we got right now has never sniffed none of this that we're going through. So you are so correct, Freezy, what you just was saying, bro.
Right, right,
Facts.
right.
Those are all the facts.
And so Justin 11 says, or Justo 11, I'm sorry, Justo 11 says, Knicks heard you say Eastern Conference Finals, baby, and forgot about the Heat. Yeah. Hey, Justo, thank you for the generous contribution. You probably right, but listen, when I said Eastern Conference Finals, I had no idea we would turn Hollywood, bro. I
Just
had no idea we would turn Hollywood.
and to keep it a buck, Freezy, the playoffs are a different animal, and the Heat have guys built for 16 games, not 82 games. And when you see the meticulous amount of preparation and like the finer details that these guys put in on even screens, you see how much preparation and how much more they're prepared or more mature or ready for the moment. It's a lot of guys on this team are deer in the headlights. Like the only guy that I don't feel there's only like a few guys on this team I feel like that are ready for the moment, and I'm gonna put it out there. Brunson and Barrett look like they're not terrified of the moment. It might be
Thank
overwhelming at times for them, but they're not tuned out and they're all focused. And like I saw the post game press conference. I don't want to like completely make it about narratives and all these things, but when Randall said maybe they wanted it more than us, even if that were the case, you don't say that in a like. Come on, bro. You don't say another team wanted it more than us while the series is still
But
going.
is he wrong though?
Even if he was wrong or right, you don't say that for me. While the series is going,
Yeah.
while and then and you're looked at as a leader on the team, and
Right.
like there's two different ways like leaders answer questions, right? When Brunson gets asked the question, he puts a lot of the blame on himself. He says, "I need to do better. I need to be better for this team. I played bad." When they ask Randall the same questions, he puts blame around on the whole team. While it is a team sport, there has to be some accountability. You can't just shift the whole thing as they wanted it more than us when you're watching lackluster effort from multiple players, notably yourself. You can't say things like that, man. You can't say that as a leader of a team. They asked RJ Barrett the same question. He says, "We're gonna come back and try to win Game 5. That's it."
Yeah.
He it's like you don't, and it makes me kind of weary of like the idea of Randall being a leader on the team or being here for the long
I
haul.
knew it. I knew that's what.
But
That's what
I don't like hearing stuff like that personally. Freezy.
Fact.
I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm glad
I
you brought
don't
that
like
up,
hearing
Dre.
stuff like that.
I'm glad, yo, Dre. I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm not gonna, because I do like Randall, and I understand the talent that he is. But the fact is, mentally and metaphorically, you shouldn't be that way.
Okay.
Not in
All
that
right.
moment.
Exactly.
I just want to
All
ask.
right. Hey, hold on.
Hold on,
How
Mets.
Y'all
Coming in hot.
Yeah, Matt's coming in hot, bro. Matt's coming in. He got something to say. I just want to respond just really quickly to what Dre said, man. I understand the sensibilities of the fans. I do. Right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. As fans, we demand too much of everything, right? Because here's the thing. Like, we can't on one hand say, I just wish they would talk and keep it real with us. And then when they talk and keep it real with us, then we like, nah, I don't want him to say it in that type of way.
Nah,
You know
there's
what
a
I'm saying?
difference, Freezy. There's accountability to be had. And if you're looked at as a leader, you can't say things like that as a
Right.
leader of a team.
So Dre, just real quick, I know a little bit something about leadership. I
I
got
believe
you. I understand where you're going with it. I understand what you're going with. I understand where you're going with it. But here's another part of it. As a leader, you have to do whatever it takes to motivate your people. Now, sometimes it's going to call for you to hurt some feelings, right? And in that hurt feelings aspect of it, you have to find out what troops are with you and what troops have their own mission, right? And some of these troops have their own missions. Some of them, like when you saw Josh Hart go guard Bam and get in front of Obi to guard Bam Adebayo, to me it looked valiant to some. To me, it looks selfish.
I'll agree with that.
Right? Why would you let a big guard a big and you guard a little? When you out here, it seems like you trying to play hero ball, bro.
On
Which is
defense.
On defense, and you know what immediately happened, right?
Which was my big issue with
Bam
concept.
Adebayo dunked. Bam Adebayo dunked.
It's one of my bad, Mets, but it's one of those things where that alone limits to what Josh Hart is as a player, because he tries really hard, but he's not really a smart basketball player.
Basically, all guts, no brains.
Like
Right.
Kyle Lowry in that same scenario would be air traffic controller and guiding his big man to that spot, and they're running out to the perimeter.
And Dre, and you know what? Even if Kyle Lowry had got trapped on him, you know what he would have done?
Flop.
He would have fouled him before the play started because he did the same thing to Randall.
Right.
When Lowry got trapped on Randall, before Randall can gather the ball, Lowry had already fouled him and put his hand up. It was me, ref.
Yeah, he would foul him. He would like try to hook him.
To avoid,
Like
Drake, to avoid the momentum. That's just get to the point to avoid the momentum.
because I was gonna
Of
say
it
he
all.
was just. I was gonna say he was gonna either hook and they're gonna call something to stop the play. Either it's
Or
gonna be an
not.
offensive foul or a foul on him, but they're gonna stop that play before it even happens.
Yeah, but still, at the end of the day, to avoid the momentum change.
Right. Go
Um,
ahead, Mets.
Okay. Seeing as how Wednesday we pretty much have nothing to lose, can we go mean machine on the reps now?
What do you mean? Mean machine.
I
I
don't-
don't know what that means. Like foul everybody and lose in the first half? Like I don't know.
No. You mean
think he's talking
talk
about the
about him in the
chance.
media, call him out in the media? What's up, Cully?
Oh,
Salute. I think-
No, I mean by mean machine, I mean basically go after the refs.
I mean, if you watch some of the post game conferences, the Josh Hart expressed displeasure with the referees.
I didn't mean like that. I mean actually go after the refs.
He's talking
You
about
can't
the
do
chance.
that. You want
chance?
dudes to get suspended and kicked out the league? Like I don't understand you want.
He's talking about the anti-ref chance, right?
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
No.
I don't know.
I never watched The Longest Yard, either iteration of it.
I have.
So the ball after their nether regions. What do you want, bro?
No, we ain't.
Nah, come on, man.
I mean, again, we got nothing to lose on Wednesday.
A game and your
Yeah.
dignity and your
No,
career.
you can't go out on
You
home
can't.
court. You can't go out on home court. Can't. No way.
Like there is something to lose. A game. Like just like I don't understand. I hate when people say there's nothing to lose. You're gonna lose the game. Like come on. Get your head.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Yeah.
This is what hey Mets, this is what we were talking about. Like,
That's what's up,
we
Kelly.
legit-
I like that, Kelly.
No, thank you. Go ahead, Freeze. My bad.
No, go ahead, Cully.
No. He was just. I was just saying it's not over yet. Corey Lee gave me props.
I'm just saying that at
Thank
this
you, Corey.
point, if we're just going to get gypped by the refs over and over again, or by our own incompetence, or a combination of both, someone's got to take the heat as a scapegoat.
Nah, but the fact of it all is, let me explain my point. And my point about the refs is the fact that all right, we have to make a point to let the refs know that we are here to play too. That's my argument. You know what I'm saying, Knick fans? Let me say this: the refs have mentally taken us out the game. Us, the players, Randall, our physical players, our physical players. Hold on a second, fam. Hold on a second, fam. The refs are taking our physical players, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, even Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson. These are the people who get down and get busy and who make the little plays, big plays for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're scared and they're playing tentative. I said that in the beginning of the game. You know what I'm saying? We're tentative out here playing this game, and we're not attacking the game like we need to attack the game. Like, what the hell? You understand what I'm saying? It's one thing to argue a foul when you're attacking the basket, but it's another thing to argue a foul when you're like saying, oh, well, you just gave him that play. Why I'm not getting this play? You got to keep fighting and doing what you're supposed to do, regardless of what they say. That's my argument. But it is what it is.
It's we're going against if you notice like all the key momentum shifts and like momentum plays, they're all been mostly for the most part done by Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam. and all of them have been war
Veteran.
tested. They know how to play
Veteran.
physical without getting called for it. They have all the tricks and all the tools in their bags, and we don't have that yet. We're a very young team. Like we have to call a spade, and sometimes if you run into a team that can win within the margins and they're nearly as talented as you, with like a player that might be better or a player that is better than your best player, this is what happens. This is what happens.
It's agreed.
Again, I also do not like Tibbs going small ball down the home stretch when he loses his players to foul outs. I mean, what's the smarter move? Putting Barrett in the 4 when Randall fouls out, or bringing in Toppin? Logically, you bring in Toppin no matter how bad he is.
Nah. Now we've had good minutes. Like the problem is when the Miami Heat go down and downsize, we're having Obi Toppin on Caleb Martin or Julius Randle on Caleb Martin. And if you've seen this game, Caleb Martin literally got a dunk because we don't have the foot speed on the perimeter. So he literally dunked on Jalen Brunson and beat our center to the rim because we just didn't have the foot speed. Like it was just a bad matchup.
And
Randall-
Dre, just let me point to something out to you right there. All right, so our rim protector on that same play, our rim protector sees the guy attacking the basket. You know what he does?
Nothing.
He tries to block the dude's dunk at his highest point. And
Instead of just fouling him.
In the playoffs, you got to make that man earn those 2 points at the free throw line. And those are the type of plays I'm saying is the difference between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks.
But the thing, like, the bad closeout was the initial. Like, I don't know what Randall was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
And I don't dispute that either. I don't dispute like what you're saying there. What I'm talking about is even if your teammate makes a mistake, you got to find a way to pick up your teammate.
I got a training regimen.
So Frizzy and to the rest of the panel, can we agree that listen, it's not that we got out coached, but more so that we got outplayed and we did not bring our best of our best to challenge.
We ain't got to agree on that. If that's how you feel, you feel that way. We don't judge. We ain't here to judge. Yo,
I think the blame goes all the way around.
Yeah, I think it's a little of both. I think it's even. I think both.
It's lack of play, lack of effort, lack of adjustments,
lack of discipline, lack of foresight.
It's a lot. Like you don't just like when you go down 3-1, it's not one factor that makes you go down 3-1. You're getting beat in multiple facets of the game to get down 3-1.
Right. Otherwise, it would be 2-2 or something else.
And throw in the fact that, as I've always stated, we got a tin soldier for a coach.
I'm not going into that.
Our 3-point shooting is
bad.
It's a problem.
It's horrendous.
Historically, the worst thus far in NBA history for a playoff series.
And especially for our perimeter D or lack of it, which is why I don't like it when Thibodeau only puts Miles out there for less than 5 minutes. You saw for the 3 minutes he was out there, he was giving perimeter shooters fits, not letting them set up. Why doesn't Tibbs use that more frequently?
I think we oversell out to protect the rim too often, in my opinion. And that's what we've been doing. That's our identity. That's what we've been doing from day one.
Right.
So when my bad, Cully, but when we look at like the Miami Heat, they employ exotic defenses throughout the course of the season, so they're prepared to adjust on the fly. Whereas, like our adjustments are not as drastic, and we don't really have like a zone to just throw out to make teams feel uncomfortable. Like for instance. When we're trying to go for a 2-for-1, like at the end of a half or something, end of a quarter, Miami Heat will throw a zone out just so we can't get the 2-for-1, just so they slow us down. Yeah, those are like the things between the margins that you don't really account for. That's kind of genius that Spoelstra does on a game in and game out basis, and like. That's our identity, but what works to get us here will not work to get us past this point. So
Tibbs is so hell bent on packing the paint,
which
It
is
is
why
what it is.
He's so bad. He's so hell bent on it, just cutting
he's
off.
tunnel vision.
Yeah, he's so hell bent on cutting off like the driving lane. It's like the kick out is like the kick out is like our biggest enemy. You know, like you said, as it's been from day one, yo. Like
It is what like. As soon
It's
as Jimmy
ridiculous.
Butler gets the ball, Jimmy Butler is too good of a playmaker to just double him over and over. They're just gonna find the open shooter. You have to play him straight up at some point.
And it doesn't matter if it's Struess, if it's Vincent, if it's Robinson to a lesser extent, or
Caleb,
Martin. In most cases, it's either going to be Struess or Vincent.
throw Lowry in there too.
And him, yeah, Kyle Lowry, I forgot about him.
it's like we're lucky that Harold's not here, yo. It's like that's a damn shame.
But then again,
Facts, 'cause
with
we'd have been
Thibodeau,
blown out. We'd have been blown out.
This is a damn
What?
shame.
We'd have been blown out.
and like I said with
Real
Tibbs,
talk.
What
Cully,
true-
you are so correct. Man.
what if it's true what I say of him, that he doesn't have a heart, that he's more a machine than a man? Would that change what would it change? Or would it matter at all? He's made his damn plan.
You can't. I'm not like that's just insulting Tibbs as a man, and I won't go that far. I can just not like certain things that he does or implements, but you can't call him a 10 man. There's a lot of things that you've seen over the course of this season compared to all his prior years that show he's been able to change and have versatility. It's just Spoelstra
It's a learning process.
Spoelstra is like taking the fact that Tibbs is bending, but Tibbs won't break all the way and change completely, which is fine. Like most coaches have their base principles. Ultimately, it comes down to the players and what you have and what you're running. It's an amalgamation of multiple things that create wins and losses. So I can't just put it all on Tibbs. I can put some of it on Tibbs. I can put some of it on the players. I can put some of it on execution. I can put some of it on effort. I can put some of it on lack of experience. I can put some of it on the Heat. And they got guys over there getting paid a ton of money too to watch game film just like the Knicks do. And they probably were maybe more prepared and their roster matched up better against ours. It's a lot of things that go into losses, man. I maybe have kind of taken the air out of the entire reason we lost, but putting it plainly, I kind of just did. It's not just one person. It's really not just one person to blame for this at all.
As for Randall saying what he said, a true leader would not act like a damn defeatist.
I mean, they're human, they're human. So I can get the tone, and I can get like being. I mean, they are exhausted. They play 40 minutes, like
Overwhelmed.
They're tired, man. They're overwhelmed. Like they play. Hold on, they play 40 minutes on a court in front of 20,000 people on a nationally televised game that millions of people are watching. They're drained emotionally and physically.
Well, I mean,
and then when you're going against a tactician like Spoelstra, and you're watching hours and hours of game film, like you gotta keep it.
But by
you gotta keep your wherewithal. Like you can't lose.
But by contrast, you look at the Golden State Lakers series. What's going on there? You got a ham sandwich coach whose last name literally is Ham.
Ham is actually a good coach.
Hold on a second. Now stop.
Of Steve Kerr and the Warriors. What the heck's happening?
Hold on a second. But you talking about. Hold on a second. Let's keep this in context, bro. And the context is that those two teams have been battle tested. You talking about this year's current champs versus a team that has been
a host of guys with playoff experience.
Was in the battle, exactly, with playoff experience.
And Darvin Ham coached on the championship team, by the way, as an assistant on the Bucks.
Exactly. Thank you, Dre. I appreciate that. But
this is related to the Knicks and
he's trying to say, because they have more talent, it doesn't matter that the coaching. I don't know. Maybe I don't know because he thinks Darvin Ham is a bad coach. I don't think so. I think Darvin Ham is a really good coach.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Regardless of how this falls, whether we win or not the next game, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm proud of this team, and if y'all want to just blow this up, then it's cool in Nick's mind. but I'm ready to run it back because I think that these young boys, the experience right now is far more has been far more fruitful than actually winning. The fact of losing and how we've lost. You know what I'm saying? And for them to experience how we've lost and to lose that way is far more fruitful.
I, I'll I'll
Uh,
I'll
uh,
I'll say there's a process to these things, and like the more that like even if there's like a losing process and there's a learning experience for multiple players, I don't believe we're gonna have the same iteration of the same team next year.
just give me Mikal Bridges and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, they not trading them that. They not trading them
I
to
know, I
us.
know.
Yeah.
But that's the guy right there.
That's the perfect.
If
That's the
you want
perfect guy.
48 minutes of basketball,
For
How many?
real, yo, I would take him over Josh Hart any day.
A
yeah,
lot of
no.
these
Well, I
Right
ain't
guys.
gonna
now.
lie. A guy like him, Mikal, I kind of want all three of them together. I want that hustle. I would want all the hustle we can get on the Knicks.
And Dre Katz is talking about paying him. Hey, Cully, I'm sorry, man, but Katz is talking about paying Josh Hart like 18, 19, $20 million a
Hell
year.
no. You
Fuck
can get
that.
You
I
said
you
threw it
can
cat.
back in
you
the
can
face now.
you can
Cat
get
to talk about that, right?
he can get 4 years 60 million. He asked for more than that. I don't know
You
what
want
he
to
I
asked
was
you want to
for.
actually
give
thinking
him
about
15?
40. I was thinking
I would
about
give him
48,
15 freezy
45.
with the cap house going up. Like he's a solid role player. But that's what solid role players get because
Yeah.
freezy. That's one fourth. Of,
I don't think he get more than Dylan Brooks, bro.
How much
that's
Dylan
one
Brooks get?
freezy. That's
I
one
thought Dylan
fourth
Brooks.
of a max.
I'm
So I
not.
mean,
I'm tired of comparing him to Dylan
I
Brooks.
thought Dylan Brooks was practically shamed out of the league. Out of,
50 million to call
Yeah.
it a day, man.
Dylan
And
Brooks is a way better defender than Josh
no,
Hart.
he is. He is.
For
That's the guy.
the report and all that stuff, and I'm getting back to the Knicks. I just want to say this about the Dylan Brooks thing because I don't think it's fair. The thing that the report that came out about Memphis and Dylan Brooks was a lie reported by Shams, and the dude that reported it is getting backlash for it right now. Right, two, just off of defensive integrity and size alone. You're talking about Dylan Brooks and Jimmy Butler being the same size. Would Dylan Brooks stop Jimmy Butler? No. But what I'm
Nobody
saying
knows.
is this: at some point, man, as Knicks fans, bro, we got to stop making 1,000 excuses for everything outside of what this team does.
Between the lines.
The fact of the matter remains that Obi Toppin came in today and didn't have it. Grimes did a lot of ball watching today. Quickly is hurt. Miles McBride only played 4 minutes, and we had to play Josh Hart today because we had an injury on the second unit. We had to play Hart today. Did Hart make a bunch of great plays? Is
no.
one of those things you're gonna get with a role player, bro.
Yep.
Role players are gonna look great on some nights and poor on other nights. It's the reason why they're not starters.
Right.
That's what they role play. Keyword.
Right.
He's like you're seeing the limitations in his game, and Spoelstra is like poking and prodding at it on a night in and night out basis. So it is what it is. Like he's a solid player. He can help you win for sure over 82 games. But is he a 16 game
No.
player in every series? No.
No way
Yeah,
for
a
that.
lot of Tibbs might have to use some vets, man. Because look, granted, some of us
He is
Knicks
a vet.
fans, huh?
He is a vet.
No, I mean Tibbs has to use some vets. Like he might have to. I mean, people gonna hate this, but he may have to. It don't hurt to roll the dice on D Rose and Fournier again. I mean, you saved them for the season. No, but see, look, hold on. You saved them for the season. That's the whole point. There's some vets that you save them for the season. That this is let them run, let them rock in the playoffs. That's the whole point. Granted, we're not playing them the whole season in front of youngins, so your youngins don't contribute. Then that's when you could call on a vet like, oh, I need you to come out, come out the chamber, come out the, give us what you got left in the tank. That's the whole point.
Again, Thibodeau won't pull that trigger unless he's ultra desperate. He's just not going to do it.
Hey, we down 3-1, man.
Like,
ain't no desperate right now.
I'm not gonna hold you like you can't pay hustle players a ton of money. He is a hustle player. He is not a skilled player.
No, he's not.
He is
skilled
not the
player.
smartest IQ player, but he will
No.
just run through a brick wall.
He's just an energy guy, bro. That's it. That's it.
And sometimes that energy works out. But when you're going against a coach like Spoelstra, he'll just misdirect that energy and have it
And you know
go
who
in
he
the wrong
reminds me of,
places.
Dre?
I agree.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Patrick Beverly, except as a wing a wing player.
Of the
He
Clippers?
is, yeah, he's the shooting
Wow,
guard.
yo.
Well,
He's the shooting guard equivalent to Patrick Beverly. In my
well,
mind.
well, Freezy, as Westbrook would say, Patrick Beverly trick y'all. He just running around doing nothing.
Right.
That's what
At
he
least
said.
he's
He
no
just run
Alfred
around
did
doing
Jack.
nothing.
At least he's not Alfred Payton, like who did two things for this team 2 years ago: Jack and shit. And Jack left town. I mean, all we got left with Payton was nothing but shit.
Hey, language.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
Hey,
What's up,
Adam,
man?
what's good, man?
Salute, Adam. Salute.
How about
salute,
them
fellas.
Rangers?
Hey,
Trying to put him in a bad mood, man.
Listen, I'm
Adam,
going to say
get
this.
that energy up, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm going to
The
say
Warriors,
this.
you know the Warriors are down 3-1.
Yeah, they should have won that game. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, now the Knicks playoff run, it's over. You just have to admit it. It is
Not till
over.
not over.
Nah,
till
it
Adam.
ain't
The
over.
Knicks
I'm not gonna say
season
that.
is
Yo,
over.
come on, man, Adam. Why you say
I'm not
yourself
gonna say
up
that.
for today?
I'm
Yeah,
saying
you can't say it's not over till
I'm
it's
saying
over.
it. It's
Dre, you
over.
see how I'm talking about like when time the conversation just goes sideways.
You set
Adam,
him up
Adam
though.
yeah.
No, he
Season
set
is
himself
over.
He
up.
set
Man.
himself up. You can't say that,
Adam
man.
used to losing, bro, because the Rangers lost.
No,
Adam
my
used to
energy.
lose.
Come
No,
on.
my energy is still here.
These
Rangers
aren't your
lost.
Devils losing too.
What we
But it's
saw
negative,
from this.
bro.
Hold on, from what we saw from this Knicks the last two games. Come on now, how are you gonna say that the Knicks season is still going to be fine?
Because they
Adam,
play
you
on
have to think
Wednesday.
about. You have to think about it.
Okay.
You have to think
This-
about it, Adam. You
Good.
go home. You go home
Even-
back to. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Even if they're
Oh,
even if they're coming back home, their season is over. Even
No.
even if they win Game 5, going back to Miami, this season is over.
So so
Adam,
we're
okay.
not the prophet.
No,
We
no,
can't
no,
dictate that.
no. Let Kelly speak.
Let Kelly finish, bro. Y'all, come on, man. Y'all talking over
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other,
go
man.
ahead,
Just let
Cuz.
each
No,
other
that's
Yeah.
my fault. That's my fault too. I'm kind of excited too. That's my bad.
Hey,
but-
when league gets started, bro, don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is.
No, that's so good. That's my bad. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
That's my
hop
bad
out.
too.
Good
But
night.
Peace, Lex.
Adam,
All right, boss.
salute Adam. Oh, good night, Matt. It's my bad. Nah,
Hey,
salute Adam.
Kelly.
Nah, man, it ain't over till it's over, man. We not the prophet. We can't say that. It ain't over till you see 4-1 and until you hit the news and the Knicks lose. It ain't over yet, man. Like we go
Yeah.
home, because you don't know what can happen. An adjustment could be coming, even though we don't know the possibility and the likeliness is slim, but an adjustment could be coming, and we could find some energy at home. We may find some rejuvenation at home.
Or we
may find-
execute better.
Yeah, we may execute. Something could always change. Like it's still a likeliness in the air. So it's like it ain't over till it's over. I'm not about to hang my hat to say it. So I mean, no. As a Knicks fan, I just can't do it till it's over. If it was 3-0, then I'd be like, all right, yeah.
Like
But-
I've seen
It's not a quitter.
I've seen
3-1.
teams with a larger gap in talent come back from 3-1. So
Yeah.
I won't say that. It's all about execution.
3-0,
Cause we
3-1.
just-
Cody, that was
Same
the
scenario.
Hold on. Hey, what'd you say, Adam?
3-0 and 3-1 is the same scenario.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Bro.
Okay, okay, wait a minute. Hey, easy. Hey,
This
Adam,
team has no basketball chemistry at all.
You
Whatsoever.
won 47 games.
Tibbs never made any adjustment in this game tonight. The Knicks were playing from behind from the tip off. They never had a single lead in this game.
Yes,
They
we
were
did.
playing
Yes,
from
they
behind.
did.
They were playing
Okay.
from behind
did.
the entire time.
Okay, that may be true,
That's not true.
but
actually.
that may be playing from behind the whole game.
I
They
mean,
were
they
playing
had a
from
lead
behind the
though.
entire
They had a
game.
lead in the second quarter.
Yeah, they had
Twice.
a lead. They had a 1-point lead in the second quarter twice.
They only had a 1-point lead for 1 second, and it was all wiped off.
Right.
That he controlled the entire game, the entire time. The Knicks
Okay.
had no chance whatsoever. And despite that, Tibbs didn't want to use Fournier. For any reason, he didn't want to use
Yeah, we need
Fournier.
shooting.
You,
I
you,
agree.
you can tell that this coach is a stubborn coach. He never wants to make an adjustment by putting a three-point shooter that's on the bench to try to help with the offense.
So Adam. So the only adjustments that can be made are personnel adjustments. You saying?
I
No,
Possibly.
he only put Deuce McBride because of quickly not in the lineup.
I'm a,
That's not what I
I'm
asked you
a,
though.
I'm a, I'm a,
That's
I'm
not.
a be,
No.
Come on,
Hold
man.
on a second,
Let
Dre.
me, yeah, we got to relax, real easy, bro. We're gonna be here for a while. We got it. We got plenty of time, yo.
okay.
Adam, what I asked is that when it comes to adjustments, are you saying that personnel adjustments are the only adjustments that Tibbs can make?
That and the way the team responded.
Okay. Hey, Dre and Cully, I know y'all want to jump in, man. I just want to for all the fans that are thinking that this series is over. I just want to show y'all this. That's what I hear when I hear that the series is over. That's all I hear,
You're
bro.
hilarious, Reed.
You got my
all
energy
I
all the way
hear,
up
bro.
now. You got my energy all the way up now.
That's all
I'm,
I hear, bro.
I'm gonna say this about the Fournier thing. No, number one, no, because
Right. Yeah.
this is his worst year from
Yep.
shooting threes, and he has not been a part of the rotation in literally months. And you're not going to expect to throw a guy into a series in a high level situation and expect him to go 4 for 5 from three just because we need shooting. Like it doesn't. It just really it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't.
Yeah, the reason why Fournier is on mothballs is not because his defense. It's because if his shot's not going and his defense is bad, he's not an NBA player. I'm sorry.
He's not impact period.
Yeah. When think about it. If you're only in the NBA for one thing, and that one thing goes away, you're not valuable to the NBA, bro. And I'm sorry, Evan Fournier is not a 3-point shooter anymore. He has his reputation is that he's a 3-point shooter. It's like Derrick Rose's reputation is that he's explosive. That's his reputation.
Breezy,
Derrick
come
Rose is
on.
not explosive, bro.
Come on. They still got something in the tank, bro, as vets.
No, they got a banana in the tailpipe. That's what they got.
Come on.
Not if like Cully. If they couldn't get it, if they couldn't get it going in them MCA runs
Right.
at the end of the season, in the last 5-6 games, they have nothing, bro. They're not gonna automatically throw it on in a high level basketball at the end of the season against teams that are already locked in and already know their rotations and how to play together. Like
Right.
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, but see, like if there's a time that you do play the vets, that's the time in the playoffs when no one else is showing up.
Okay,
That's the
well,
time.
I'll give you Derrick Rose, but as a vet,
I'm not
what
giving
has
him
what
Derrick Rose.
what has Fournier ever done?
Break the record. No, I'm only playing. I mean, look. I don't.
Like he doesn't. If we're going by reputation, he has never had a reputation of doing anything in the playoffs.
Right.
He hasn't. He couldn't even get the magic there. I get it, but I mean, look. He plays for us now. He might have some shooting that could give us. He might be able to give us a spark, get us a game or two. You never
His
know.
best value
Cully.
is being an expired contract.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, because I was going to sum that up as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much a wrap for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I love you like you, but the Shanghai Sharks are calling for you right now.
Him and Jim are for that.
Damn,
Yeah, man. No, like just also really quick. If you thought Jalen Brunson looked rusty in the first 2 games against Cleveland after he missed 2 out of the last 4 games of the season, what make you think dudes are not going to be rusty and they missed 40 games? You know what I'm saying?
Like in the words of Tibbs, guys have to be ready.
You gotta be ready when your number's called. Guys want to play. Some are situational. I know what Tibbs be saying, bro. Kelly, Tibbs just be talking, bro. Tibbs just be talking.
Yeah, it's too funny.
The same as all.
They asked Tibbs about the offensive rebounds, and he said the ball was just going over our heads. Like we were crashing, and they were getting the long rebounds because their shot profile is completely different than the Cavs. The Cavs miss a lot of shots inside the 3-point arc, so we could get those rebounds, but those long rebounds that requires an extra bit of oomph. That requires an extra bit of athleticism. That requires an extra bit of gas. Like if you don't have it, it's gonna be a long night. Which is why they keep getting those long rebounds.
Hey, that's what. But you know what though? I think Tibbs kind of did the same thing Randall did when Tibbs said because I saw what you were talking about when Tibbs said that. You know what what I got from that? I'm not giving you nothing.
Yeah, and I also think he said Tibbs was basically saying they wanted it more than us when I heard him say that. That's what I heard.
That is the dumbest thing to say.
In the game.
The ball is going over our head. What that means to like athletes is that you wasn't doing the extra stuff. You wasn't doing what it takes to go get those extra balls. Right. And then because when I pointed out to Kyle Lowry and Jalen Brunson profile as the same type player at the same age. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, Kyle Lowry is like 10 years older than Jalen Brunson, right?
Seen everything.
Yeah, and Kyle Lowry went into a scrum and out-jumped him and Josh Hart. You know what that means? What that means to me when I saw that, I was like, "Yep." And Miami just wanted more than the Knicks. They just do. Because that 36-year-old man was in there sacrificing his body. You know what I'm saying? Against dudes that are young. Both of those dudes are younger than him and more spry than him. And he went in there and he didn't look in there. He jumped in there.
Yeah. Pitbull mentality.
Yeah. Pitbull mentality. It's the fact that, listen, this dude is looking at his basketball mortality. These players on the Heat's team are looking at the basketball mortality from Love and everybody else, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to win a game.
Yep, it's guys in the my bad.
Hold on a second, Dre. Listen. It takes every game. We are looking at it as a series, and we're not looking at it as a game. The Knicks. I'm speaking of. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at we got this amount of games, so if we can do this in X amount of games, we can probably pull us out in this game. But no, these cats are putting their imprint on every single game, and they're making the key plays to destroy what we have going in.
Okay, so what do we do different for Game 5? What do we do different for Game 5? How do we turn this series around?
How do we do this Game 5? Get hungry like they do. Understand our mortality. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got to stop getting punched and start punching. You understand what I'm saying? How many times you got to be the target and start making a target out of somebody else? You understand what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? That's what turns the page in everything in our life. We can, it's like sit back in your life saying that, man, I could have been this, I could have been that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, nah, this is who I am and this is what I'm going to be. You understand what I'm saying? Stop being a sucker. You understand what I'm saying? And be the aggressor. And that's what we did in the first series. But the first series was on some narratives that we had to prove something about a certain cat that we didn't draft or didn't get in a trade. You understand what I'm saying? What the hell, man? Stop. Excuse my language, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Hey, Lee, that pause be. Hey, Lee, and that pause like Lee, a pause.
And then when you
Yeah,
ready to
yeah,
jump in, you can go
yeah.
ahead.
He paused because he had so much on his mind. The frustration. I feel you, Glee.
I feel you,
Like he
boss.
was, I could tell because like the wheels were turning in his head because I know what he wants to say, but he don't want to say
Yeah.
it.
We are not no itches. And stop being
Um,
some itches.
but Lee, you know what though? But the thing about it is I'm not questioning the heart. Or let
I
me
am. I am.
let me say it. All right, but I'm talking about myself. I ain't talking about nobody else. Like I don't speak. I ain't gonna
I
speak
got
for
you,
Corey Lee
son.
because Corey Lee a grown man. Corey Lee can
You
speak for
right.
herself. I'm just saying for me, I'm not questioning their desire. I'm questioning their hunger, right?
That,
Because it's there and there's a difference. It's like I use an example when we camping and we out there hungry and we done ran out of food. Everybody is hungry when after we done ran out of food, right? Here's the thing: are you willing? Are you willing to go out there and you know what I'm saying and find you a rabbit, find you a raccoon to eat, or are you gonna
what?
starve, or hope somebody bring you something? And
What?
my thing is in this scenario where we out here in the woods and the Knicks are hungry, the Knicks not willing to go out and find them no critter to eat. They gonna complain about being hungry, right?
Because they ain't getting that a la carte.
Because ain't nobody brought it and put it in their lap.
I got you, baby.
That's
I'm
what
with
I'm saying.
that.
So I'm not questioning their heart because of course they want to win. Of course they competitive, but to what degree are you competitive?
Oh, what
Are
degree
you
are you
willing to
with?
be a Kyle Lowry? Are you willing to be a Kyle Lowry and throw your body in a scrum and come out with an offensive rebound? No,
Yeah, Quentin Grimes ain't doing that.
no,
No one on the Knicks has
no.
done that.
At this stage, everybody wants to win. It's teams in the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs that wish they were here and want to win, right? But what will you do in order to take that next step?
Hey, I think it's a learning experience for a lot of the guys on this team, and
Exactly.
it might be a learning experience that they'll take onto another team. But it's like for Quinn Grimes, even for IQ, even though he didn't play tonight, even Obi, where I think he might get traded out of here anyway. It's a
Obi's got
learning
to go.
experience, and they get to see firsthand what it takes to be a championship caliber team.
And and and
Firsthand what it takes, that effort, that
and
extra.
and furthermore, this front office when they recognizes they made a mistake,
They move on.
they correct their mistakes.
Yep.
Facts.
Well,
So if
that's
they
yet to be
recognize
seen.
someone here may not fit the identity that we need to take the next step to be a championship contender, their heads will roll.
Yeah, yeah,
And knowing how cutthroat this business is, wouldn't shock me if everyone on this roster is available for the right price.
right,
If it brought it closer to a championship, everybody,
right.
every
Yeah,
last player, every front office
Agree.
guy,
Agree.
every assistant coach, every anybody. If they're in the way of making progress to being a true contender, the way that this front office has been operating, I believe they're willing to make the moves. They damn near dangled half the roster for Donovan Mitchell last year.
yeah.
So imagine if someone
And to
potentially
be
might be
honest with
better.
you, and we had Donovan Mitchell right now being guarded by
Nah.
Max Struess and Duncan Robinson.
That would not change anything.
I don't think it would change anything
Yeah,
against this
I
team.
think y'all
I don't
wrong,
think that
bro.
would change.
Nah.
I think y'all
So
hurt.
do 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 do
I've
yeah.
seen.
Hey, Jay,
I'm
Jay,
gonna
hold
keep
on,
it.
Jay, hold on. Let me ask around the panel so we won't dominate. Adam, why wouldn't that the situation be different?
I don't think us having Donovan Mitchell will change the series around.
No, I know I heard you say that before, but why not?
because
I can give you answers.
I know, Dre. I know you got the answer already, but
I got an answer right now myself.
yeah, but Adam talking though.
I don't think Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell can give this team a spark that they need to try to beat the Heat.
Okay, so
That's what I think.
basically what that sound like to me is that you just don't like the Donovan Mitchell thing. You don't have it. That wasn't
Oh,
really.
I like the
Yeah,
No, I like Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think it's going to change. It's going to change anything.
right. But we already heard you say that 3 times already. That's why we was asking for something for the reason why you think that way.
I'm gonna say this for easy. Like, I love Donovan Mitchell as a player, for sure. But the reason we're losing is the ancillary pieces, not our main guys. And
Okay. You know that that's like stepping in a bear trap right there, right?
No, it's not, because
yes, it is. What ancillary pieces? Tell me what pieces.
The ham sandwiches, Freezy, but we would replace them with other ham sandwiches.
So wait a minute. So the ham sandwiches are not producing.
But then we would have other ham sandwiches.
But you would have other ham sandwiches and Donovan Mitchell.
But the thing is, when you have Donovan Mitchell, I've seen multiple occasions where he has not stepped up to the plate in the playoffs. Do you think the Cavs team would have beat this Miami team, Freezy?
Hell no.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't even.
No. Give your educated guess.
They would have got swept.
I don't believe so, and I feel like the Knicks would have been just as talented as that Cavs team.
I'm gonna say
I feel like
what?
And the Knicks,
they would have got swept.
I think the Cavs would sweep the Miami Heat.
Oh hell
no!
Yeah,
I disagree.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I noticed y'all disagree on a lot of stuff.
No,
but then when I ask you why you disagree, y'all like I'm gonna
no,
you don't give me a chance to even get to my bag.
Because
I'm gonna get to the bag.
Dre, it's not, but no, I get where you and I are, but it's others up here on the panel too.
Okay,
that's all I'm doing is just trying to share the mic.
Let me get to my point. Listen, Donovan Mitchell. We speaking of Donovan Mitchell, and I'm gonna say this with all due respect to this young man, and he's a phenomenal athlete and a great player, but he is not the type of dude that is gonna raise the level of his whole entire team. He can raise his game, but he will not raise the game of everybody else. And that's what separates him from the fact of being
Lee Hayton.
I think the boy is a baller personally, but I've also seen Spoelstra stifle more talented players.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen
more towards what Dre is saying.
I've seen Spoelstra.
Wow.
I've seen Spoelstra go against that Celtics team, which is more talented. They have 2 guys more talented than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And give them fits and give them one shot at the finals.
I've seen Spoelstra out-coach Popovich.
Right.
In the finals.
So, right.
But the thing I'm getting at though, Dre, is this to what Lee said. Lee said he doesn't raise the level. But here's the thing. What does the Utah Jazz look like without Donovan Mitchell right now? Terrible.
They're out of the playoffs.
Terrible.
They were in the play-in for a minute, then they got hurt a lot.
Right. They look terrible, right? And then this team was in the play-in last year, and this team with Donovan Mitchell this year is a playoff team. So how do we even question?
But that team
Donovan
was
Mitchell?
Freezy. That team last year, before
Was
they
a
made all them,
playing team.
they were a playoff team, and they got hurt. When Jared Allen went down, they went from a top 3 seed all the way into the play-in.
Right.
Let's call it a spade. They had 2 All-Stars last year. They had depth last year. They had Laurie Markkinen last year. They had Colin Sexton last year.
Right.
So let's not just front like the Cavs are just a bum organization without talent.
Nobody said that. I didn't call them that.
But like, come on, Freezy. There's a little bit more context to it than that. And the Jazz this year are not the same team they were last year. Loaded with veterans, with defined roles, with a veteran head coach that knew how to win, and a team that had
led them offensively.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. That's the point. What I'm saying is what I'm getting at is whether you think it's a big gap or a small gap. However you define the gap, but the thing that you do have to recognize is there is a gap.
But here's
Yeah,
the
but see,
thing. Here's the caveat. Here's the caveat, Freezy. They've been expected to make a Western Conference final run or even get to the second round, right? Getting
But
top seed. Top seed. No, listen.
I didn't
Getting top seed.
I didn't expect them to
Okay,
be.
you didn't expect them, but their
No,
seed dictated they
no,
should have made longer
because
runs in the playoffs.
right because I didn't
But they
expect them to do so
underwhelmed.
because the Golden State Warriors were still intact. The Golden State Warriors were just dealing with injuries. I never thought the Utah Jazz was better than the Golden State Warriors.
But even then, they weren't supposed to put up
I never
those
thought they were better than the
abysmal
Lakers.
second round efforts. Abysmal.
I never thought they would be. I never thought they were better than the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets had the league MVP on it.
So what? So what are you saying, that they're not that good because Donovan Mitchell's on that team? So they should have been expected to win then.
No,
right?
no,
Either they're not that good or they're that good.
No,
you can't have it both ways.
You're assuming one way or the other. I'm trying to explain to you where exactly I am, where there will be no assumptions.
Okay.
What I'm saying is Donovan Mitchell is a great player. This league is deficient in great players. When the opportunity comes for you to acquire a great player, it's hard for me to understand a team with a talent deficit turning down the opportunity to acquire a great player. I don't care if it's Spider, KD, Kyrie. I don't care what player it is. If you're the Knicks, you have to consider it because a culture of losing but being nice is still a culture of losing. You feel me? And now I know a lot of people don't get it. But what I'm saying ultimately is Utah without Donovan Mitchell is not the same franchise. And Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell is a dynamic franchise that got caught up in a bad matchup. I don't want to say Cleveland lost because they sucked. What I'm saying is the Knicks were a bad matchup for them, and the Knicks are a good team. So Donovan Mitchell didn't elevate the Cavs against the Knicks. The Knicks were a good team and a bad matchup for them. That's what I'm saying.
It sounds like an excuse for Donovan Mitchell, Freezy, if you ask me.
You want me to hit the thing for my phone?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll hit the button.
That sounds like it.
I hit the
button for myself. Freezy. I don't know how to explain it. If you're the best player on the team, right? On both teams,
right,
and you have the higher seed, why are you not expected to win?
Because he ain't scored nothing over 35 points.
You're the best player on both teams. You have home court advantage. Why aren't you winning?
Right.
What does that say about Donovan Mitchell's impact?
Right. Donovan Mitchell is not a great player then.
No, he is a great player. But there are levels. There are levels to it. There are levels to it.
Right.
There are levels.
There's levels to it, right? So with that said, if you add Randall, RJ, and Brunson to Donovan Mitchell, the fact that you give Brunson help and give Randall help and give Spider help, maybe RJ if he's here, if he's not, somebody else. Does that mean that Donovan Mitchell can't help those guys elevate a franchise?
I believe he would make the Knicks a better organization going forward in the short
better
term.
roster, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah.
But not a.
He would have got us over the hump.
Not a championship team.
There. But
this is. Oh, my bad, Lee. But this is
the fact of that we would have gave up everything, including
what is everything? Name it.
Okay, we would have gave up. I'm not.
No, what is everything?
In reality, RJ was thrown in those deals. Mitch Robinson was thrown in those
You ain't got to be nice. Just gotta say
it.
What I'm saying in context is that we would have gave up RJ Barrett, who showed up in his playoffs You understand what I'm saying? And the fact that okay, Randall did not show up. You know what I'm saying? Would really hurt us. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of having
What's everything, Lee? You said everything, bro. What's everything?
I guess he's talking about
everything
assets beyond like
Yeah,
players that are not
I just want
actually tangible
assets.
Lee.
players.
I just say I just need to
Thank
hear.
you.
I just need to hear what he's talking about. I just need to hear these
Assets.
things.
Thank you. Assets and our bench.
No. I need to
Assets.
hear. I need to hear what it is because assets could be towels,
Okay.
right?
Quickly,
What is it that we giving up?
we would have given quickly. Would have given quickly. Obi Toppin and our bench.
I'm not.
Who
I'm
did not
thinking.
show.
I'm more about the picks than anything, because after we get him, cool. There's a finite ceiling, but I would like some maneuverability after that to even make the team even better after we get
Right.
Donovan Mitchell, because
Bro,
Donovan Mitchell alone isn't the final piece for the championship. It's the
Exactly.
ancillary pieces that you might take a year or two to add
but
to
Dre,
Donovan
that's
Mitchell.
but Dre, that's not what I said. You took my words and you took my words out of town. I never said none of that stuff. Right? What I
You're
said
just
is
saying for this series.
yes.
It's nice to
And
have
and
Donovan
and,
Mitchell
and
for
they
this
and
series.
they jumped me. They jumped me. It's like no. I disagree. And then when I asked about it, Lee didn't want to name the assets because he knew I was gonna laugh. And then Adam said a humming. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't say a home run. No,
But when I asked you, Adam, I asked you specifically, like I asked you specifically why you disagreed, and I still am unclear about why you disagreed.
Son ain't the end all to be all. Period.
Just explain it, bro. We got plenty of time.
I'm just gonna
No,
say.
son is just.
I'm just gonna say
Go ahead, Adam.
it would be nice to have Donovan Mitchell on this roster, but it's not enough. It won't be enough
Not enough for what?
to win the championship.
Again, Dre, you see what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
It's not enough. The Knicks will need more key players on top of
But he's
Donovan
talking
Mitchell.
about beating the Heat, not beating the Celtics or the Sixers.
The Knicks roster right now, they don't have enough talent to beat the Heat.
But
Dre,
he's trying to say
he's trying
to say Donovan Mitchell would give us enough talent to beat the Heat.
No, I disagree.
I think it would definitely put us closer. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I can't 100% say we would beat the Heat if we had him over multiple role players to throw at him. Because if we, I think Josh Hart is a ham sandwich. I think Grimes is a ham sandwich.
On top of Grimes, and also
wow, did you call him a ham
and also
sandwich?
the Golden Child did not step up either.
RJ Barrett?
Yeah, he didn't.
RJ Barrett's
Come on, man. Adam, man,
RJ Barrett's the only consistent player this series.
No, he did not do too much tonight.
Yes, thank you, Dre.
I don't know what game you watched, but it certainly was not basketball.
We were all watching the same game. I want to say this. Do you guys?
Did you put your eyeballs in?
No, he didn't.
Hold on.
No, he didn't. He lost his mother effing mind.
Jay, let me ask you something, Jay. Do you agree when I say that the officials were blowing the whistles way too much every time Jimmy Butler has the basketball?
What does that have to do with RJ Barrett?
That's not what we're talking about.
That has to do with a lot why the Knicks lost tonight.
But that has nothing.
So what? No, dude. You just changed the whole.
Hey, get
narrative.
us back on track, Freezy. Get us back on track.
I'm lost because
Get us
I
back on track.
clearly
He just threw us off the whole narrative. We're talking about. Hold on a second. We were just talking about the fact that Donovan Mitchell, and then we went into RJ Barrett. Well, and you specifically said RJ Barrett did not show up for this playoffs when RJ Barrett just scored 24 freaking points.
No, he didn't. He said this series. He didn't say for the playoffs. He said this series.
But he's been good this series.
He's been good the last two series.
Okay.
Oh man.
Do you not understand what I'm saying, brother? So you can't. You just no. You're wrong, Adam. Right here.
Uh, yeah, I can't agree with that one.
Yeah, that's the point. The point that I was getting at
Salute,
is
Ron. My fault.
Ron was good, bro.
Man, what's going on, fellas?
What's good,
Man,
blood?
hey
What
man,
what up, Ron Cleveland?
I don't run. I don't know what to say, bro. I think I'm lost. I
You
think
not
I'm
lost.
lost, man.
That
You did.
GPS, brother.
Because I spoke in clear, concise thoughts. I outlined exactly what it was that I wanted to speak about, right? And just put it out there, and then I got cut off. Lee jumped me, bro.
Don't put that off on me, man.
Hey, it's all,
It was
it's all
both
good.
of y'all. It was
Hey,
both of
it's all
y'all.
good, Freezy. I stuck a couple jabs in there too while Freezy wasn't looking.
Oh, stop it, yo,
Man,
Dre.
He talking about on me. He
Ninja,
took
please.
Lee on me, bro.
No,
fellas.
I got on you. I got on you because you just said Donovan Mitchell would have changed the dynamic of our team in this specific series, and I said no, it wouldn't have,
Right.
because of the simple fact that we would not have the personnel to even attack this team like we should have or could have.
But you never explained it. You never explained that though.
No, I never explained because I never had the opportunity to explain that part. But can we explain that part? Because it's clearly and concisely, we would not have the personnel to attack this team in the fashion
So we'd have
of
just
which we
went. So
should
we'd
have.
have played all season with an 8-man roster.
We would have had a 9-man roster.
It would have been a 9-man roster in the regular season, but when we get to the playoffs, you know how
the
Tim Drake.
Budweiser
Not an 8-man rotation.
Oh,
An 8-man roster.
Right.
An 8-man roster of the Budweiser crew. You know what I'm saying? Plus 3 players.
Okay.
I mean, when you look at the Cavs roster, they were playing the corpse of Danny Green and Ricky Rubio. Those are the caliber players we would have had on the end of our bench, which is why the Cavs went 7-man rotation and they got smoked.
I think y'all missing the whole reason why we losing this series, man.
Oh boy, I hope this good, Ron. I hope this good.
You better come on, because I'm a two.
Because Ron Cleveland just called us out. Y'all let him talk. Let him talk. Go ahead, Ron.
He's ready to do the captain speaking.
I think y'all missing the whole reason why we losing this series, man. And so thinking myself, man, we was talking from
Ron. We've been watching the series too now. We've been watching.
Huh?
We've been watching. I mean,
yeah,
I know basketball.
Watching, but, y'all been watching, but I ain't hear nobody really talking about the main problem why we losing.
Go ahead, bro.
It's the center position, and I'm gonna tell you why. We're not getting nothing offensively in this series.
Yeah, no.
That's your biggest problem, because you are not getting anything. You going in at a handicap every night from that position in this series. See that series against Cleveland? It didn't come back to bite us. That our centers actually outplayed. Why? Because Jared Allen is the same type of center Mitchell Robinson is. That's why we won that series. The only difference between them two guys, Mitchell Robinson is more physical than him, but they're basically the same type centers. The problem with the Knicks, we don't have a dynamic center that offensively that can pull people away from that basket. Bam don't have to worry about Mitchell Robinson at all. And Mitchell Robinson have a problem coming out on that perimeter trying to guard. And basically the thing is the Knicks keep running this big lineup. Miami is playing small ball and killing us. Why? Because Mitchell Robinson is a liability offensively. Mitchell Robinson, he can't shoot. And then when he gets fouled, you may as well chalk up the free throws as not going in. So you got a guy, and then his backup is a guy who can facilitate. He can pass, but he really don't have no offensive game. Got a little push shot. So until the Knicks get out of this rut with these centers that we got, because I'm gonna tell you, I was watching this game tonight, Freezy, and I'm gonna tell you, you know who came to my mind, man? I said, if this guy was on this team, and I know he has an injury history, but what he gives you offensively and defensively, I said,
I already know where you're going with this.
A Miles Turner in this series.
Hell no.
Miles Turner is soft.
Bam would not have
No,
been able
no,
to.
no, no.
He's soft.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
you're missing the
I'm
whole
not gonna
point.
lie
It's
to you.
about schematics.
Finish. Hold on.
It's
Go ahead,
about schematics. The fact that Mitchell Robinson can't score night in and night out, you're putting pressure on everybody else to score. Randall, think about it. Randall, Brunson, and RJ the last 2 games did what they're supposed to do offensively. But the problem is you don't get nothing from your center, and now that's even more stress. You asking your bench to give you even more.
I
And,
gotta rebuttal that.
and the bench been non-existent too.
I gotta rebuttal that. Mitch is not needed to score that much. Our strength was supposed to be our bench, but our bench has not shown up. Period.
But guess what?
You're not supposed to score 100 something out your starting lineup. Even if you have Mitch, even if Mitch was a scorer, you're not supposed to get 100 out of your starting lineup.
So you telling me right now in this
Miami
modern
Heat
day NBA,
outscoring our bench is one of the largest issues.
Think about it. The problem with the problem with the Knicks, when you look at our roster, we got a 90s type roster.
Yep.
We got a 90s type roster. Yes, we do. And we're not a good three-point shooting team.
No, we don't.
And we
And
haven't
that
been a good
narrative
three-point
is
shooting
dead.
team.
No,
And
we're not.
You know what else killed us? We can't guard the three-point line. You watch them boys all night shooting wide open threes. You can't
Because of
guard
the
the
dumber
threes.
team.
You got killed on
Thank
rebounds.
you. I'm glad you said that.
You got killed because you couldn't rebound against Miami. Miami been doing what they want the last 2 games. I couldn't count how many times I've seen offensive rebounding by Miami. They was killing us. So, and then on top of that, we had 10 turnovers in the first quarter. So when you turn the ball over, you can't shoot. You can't shoot. You're not getting nothing from your centers. How you expect to win? I don't care what you bring in here when you got those deficiencies like that, man. And I don't care who you coaching.
Hold on a second. But Ron, check this out. They don't run no GD plays for Bam Adebayo. They don't.
But guess what? Bam can shoot.
No. They don't run no plays for him. Just the fact that he's more athletically gifted and can go to the basket and don't stop. Let me speak because I'll let you talk. Yo, he's more athletically gifted and he can create his own plays out of that. So that's why they don't run no plays towards him. And they can use that's like a secondary like aspect on what they can count on as for him being an athlete. So you cannot say that.
Does Bam have a jump hook? Does Bam have a jump shot?
Hold on, Ron.
That's just being an athlete.
Hold on, Ron. Hold on. When we go starter for starter against them, our starters have been producing as much or better than theirs. When we go to the bench, their bench has completely destroyed us the entire series.
Yeah.
The entire series, their bench has destroyed us.
What about that center position?
There's a hierarchy of issues on the Knicks. And the center
position, what we getting?
Ron, there's a hierarchy of issues on the Knicks. First, number one issue, we're the worst three-point shooting team in the history of the playoffs.
And pretty much have been. I'm glad you said that because people have been saying we're a good three-point shooting team. I hope you say that.
Statistically, we're the worst.
I've never said that either.
But a lot of Knicks fans think we're a great shooting three-point
team.
As Spoelstra exposed that, number one, right? Number two, our bench was supposed to be our strength coming into this series. We were supposed to wipe the floor with their bench. That's out of the window. That hasn't happened. Number three, we were supposed to dominate them on the glass. We haven't done that, right? So even if we have all those 3 things not working against us, if Mitchell Robinson drops 15 points, we're probably still losing. I'm not going to lie to you, Ron Cleveland. We have all 3 of those things working against us. Mitchell Robinson averaging 14 points is not going to solve that issue.
Go back to that Cleveland series. I'm glad you said that.
Man,
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson averaged like 9 points in that series.
Hold on. Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein together, what was their average pretty much every night in that series?
Probably together like 16 points together.
They got that. And that's how we beat Cleveland, man. That's how we beat Cleveland.
Because
we beat Cleveland because we out-rebounded them.
3 good neither.
Ron
didn't shoot the
Cleveland.
three good in that series.
Ron Cleveland.
Ron, you're not
Hold on.
listening.
Time out. We beat Cleveland because number one, we out rebounded them. We turned the ball over less than them. We shot a better percentage overall than them, and our bench washed their bench.
How was
That's
our
why
3-point shooting in that game, in that series?
it was fun. It was terrible, but I
There you
literally
go.
just gave you the 4 reasons why we beat them, and those 4 reasons flipped, or why not we're not beating Miami.
Man, and that center position we all know, Mitchell Robinson
Nah,
alone
man, stop.
dominated
Because
that series, and that was a
because
major reason
you're
why we
trying to
won that
drive a
series.
narrative. You're trying to drive a
It's not.
narrative.
That ain't driving
It's
no
not
narrative. It's the truth.
necessarily a narrative. It's just
It's
what
the
he
truth.
believes. I believe it would have been nice to get more production out of our centers, but in like a hierarchy of what went wrong, that's probably like the 5th thing in my mind.
And think about it, Dre. Now I'm glad you said that, right? Because think about it. That series against Cleveland, the bench outplayed them except for IQ. IQ was pretty much non-existent this whole playoffs. But the makeup for IQ was what our centers gave us. Because Julius Randle missed time because of that ankle
We
in that
but,
series too.
but we ain't
So
playing Cleveland. We playing Miami
but
Heat
that's what I'm
and
saying. When
the
you
Miami Eric
look at it,
Spoelsters. That's who we play.
yeah. The coaching is definitely top notch, A1 better. You know that guy is a championship team. And the thing too, a lot of people have been yelling, and I've been hearing it. Oh, Kyle Lowry is washed up. He's washed. Go look at what that man averaged in this series.
I think
That
like
man
12,
had almost every game, 4 games, almost every last one he was in double figures.
12, 5, and 5 off the bench, which is
He had
amazing.
18, he had 15 a night, he had 18 one night, had 12 another night, and then I think he had 6. A total of like 53 points through 4 games.
So like 12
And six,
point,
and
12 point
average 5
5,
assists.
and
Had 20
5
assists
5 off the
through 4
bench.
games.
So I missed the point about Kyle Lowry in the centers.
Yeah. A lot of
He's just naming the other things why we.
Yeah, the other things that
Yeah,
killed us in
he's
the
spinning.
series.
He's
Let
spinning.
me before we do that, Ron. Let's continue on this center conversation just a little bit. And the reason why I want to do that is because our centers faced off against 2 different type centers and 2 different type of series, right? The Cleveland series, their center position required 0 touches in their offense, right? Where you're talking about Allen and Lopez, and then sometimes Mobley, right? When Mobley was on the floor, they did a little high post action, but not enough for somebody to game plan for, right? But then when you're talking about Bam Adebayo in a different series, right? Bam Adebayo is what the NBA is calling a point center. Now, I'm not saying that he was a point center for 30 minutes a game in this series, but he was definitely the point center for 25 minutes in that Milwaukee series. And I understand we're not Milwaukee. I know that. Right? But ultimately what I'm getting at is supposed to run a simple action that our centers couldn't figure out, and they still can't, right? Because our guys are not high enough IQ to understand what's happening to them, right? Basically, they ran a rub action where Kevin Love would come across the paint and go to the corner. When Obi was in the game, Obi wouldn't follow him, so Kevin Love would get the ball rotated back around to him in that corner for an open 3. So when Tibbs, it had to be Tibbs making an adjustment. Tibbs was like, hey, you know what? We're going to take our center and go with him to the corner, and then that way our power forward will be on Bam. And what Miami did is instead of reversing it, they reversed it. Rotating it. They reversed it back around to the other side and got Bam Adebayo and Obi. Right?
Attacking.
Yep. You're gonna have to defend one of these guys with a weak defender, right? When you send Love to the other side or Martin to the other side of the floor to drag Mitch out of the paint, Now you got Obi Toppin or Josh Hart guarding Bam
on roller
Adebayo,
skates.
Or let's call a spade a spade. Julius Randle was terrible on defense.
or Julius Randle
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Julius Randle too. I was gonna get to Randle, but I was gonna get to Randle and Love, right?
Yeah, because his closeouts were
Right.
Right.
non-existent.
Randall is more better at guarding his man straight up. But if he got to do help defense, any of that, you can cancel it.
Which
But
it's a shame
but
because he.
ultimately, what
Well,
just real quick about the
yeah.
center. I just want to say this about the center position. When our bigs are dragged away from the paint and they shoot their long shots, now you're asking your center, whether it's Hartenstein or whether it's Mitch, you're asking them to run 30 feet to a rebound that's up in the air, and that's
And you only know
impossible.
what angle it's on.
Right. That's basically impossible. So then when you look at the stat sheet, you look at they only had 5 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? What it makes it seem like is they wasn't hustling the entire game. No, these guys are being systematically schemed out of the rebounding area because what happened is the first 2 games of the season, Miami just tried to put bodies on them and it wouldn't work.
But
They just
Freezer,
tried
I
to
ain't
put
even thinking about the rebound. For me, it's just the offense. It's the
no.
offense. You get
I'm
you get
talking about
nothing.
me.
You get nothing from it. Oh,
I'm
for
talking
you?
about me. I'm talking about
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I hear you.
I can't speak for another man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Y'all too
I hear you.
smart for that. I can't talk for y'all. Right? What I'm saying is when you get schemed out like that, bro, it takes away a whole bunch of stuff. Now you got your big clumsy big man running in space picking up ticky tack fouls.
Yeah, that's been this whole series.
That's the thing that I would. That's the thing. And then plus two, we can't say that Mitchell Robinson didn't get passes on the inside from Randall because
Fumbled.
all series long, Randall been diming up Mitch, and Mitch has either been traveling, fouling, or going to the free throw line, missing free throws.
And you know what's
Yeah,
happening
as
when you
soon
go
as
to
he
the free
gets it
throw
around
line.
the rim,
They
Spoach was
hack
like,
him.
"Yo, foul."
Yeah, and
They
I
Let
don't
him
hack
play
blame him.
foul.
I don't blame him.
and so that's why when you mentioned that, I merely want to throw in my piece because
That's a good
listen,
point too.
everybody going to see the game a different way. What I saw is Randall getting in the paint, drawing defenders, wrapping around pass to Mitch. Man, listen, in the game before this one, he hit Mitch in the hands once and it went out of bounds. Hit him in the chest once, and one was a low pass from Randall. You know how they say don't never have your big man bend over for a pass.
Oh yeah, that's a wrap.
Randall made him bend over for a pass, but the pass was still catchable, but it still went out of bounds.
But
Right? And,
Freezy,
and, and if he converts on all 3 of those, this dude's got 6 points.
yeah. But you know, Freezer, the thing is, man, is when we look at that center position for our team, for me, is and I ain't talking about for anybody else on this panel or any other Knicks fan.
Hey, I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
For me, I'm just tired of looking at knowing going in and game out, that if my bigs ain't getting a alley oop thrown to them, or if they ain't a putback to be put, we can just cancel out getting any points from them. I'm sick of that. I need something out of that position in this modern day of basketball, where you're asked to score. It's sad when the only thing you can do is play defense and rebound. And on any given night, if you're playing against the right matchup, you're gonna be null and void. And that's pretty much what's going on in this Miami series. Bam is controlling things.
I'll say
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Drake. Hold on a second. Ron, because I unfortunately had to switch up headphones, so excuse my echoing if you get it. But Ron, I'm gonna say this, bro, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yo, man, dude, you can't blame this on Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? The man is limited to some degree in the aspect of what he is. But what he gives us in any other series or outside of this particular series is just not what it is.
there
We will
there's
give him
there's
hot.
like there is a formula for what Mitch Robinson does, and it translates to winning. The other things that come before that are more of an impact of the losses. Like in my opinion, granted, you want your whole team to eat, or be threats, right? But when you're
Absolutely.
getting damn near 80 points out of three guys in your starting lineup, offense isn't necessarily something that you're yearning for from your center position. The real issue is we came into the series expecting a bench advantage. We didn't have that at all. The issue in this series, we thought we were going to shoot better from three. We haven't at all.
We went back to what we was during the regular season,
Yeah, like
and
the issue.
especially early in the regular season, we went back
No,
to
no,
that.
the beginning of the season. Let's
Yeah,
make
we
that
went back. We
specific.
went back to what we was in the beginning of the season.
The
That's
issue.
exactly what we went back to.
The issue is we're over helping to stop Jimmy Butler instead of just
100% agreed. I don't
playing
understand
straight
it
up.
yet. Play him straight up and let him do what he do. Stay home with everybody else. All that switching
Exactly.
is
All that other
causing
stuff is
confusion
just
on. I'm
yeah. All
watching
that
Randall and
The
and
double team
RJ
is whack. The double
not even
team has been
communicating
whack.
defensively, and both of them look like they're going in the same direction and allow the man to get an easy dunk. You know what I mean? It's mental breakdowns defensively, and I said that
it's
thing the other night.
panicking, treating him like the
What
boogeyman.
what the Heat make you do is the Heat forces you to play disciplined defense, and if you don't, because you best believe they don't take no quick shots on the shot clock. They will chew that shot clock up until the right person get the ball and take the shot. They ain't got no egos on that team. And another thing about that team, they play team ball, and I'm sick of the isolation basketball, man. We got to get away from that because we do too much of that, and now it's biting us.
Well, they
It's
have
all
ball
gravy when that
movement.
shot falling.
They
When
have
you
ball
doing that
movement and
isolation
man
stuff,
movement. Yeah.
isolation works some of the time, but you can't run that all the time. And that's all basically what we're doing. Isolation, isolation, isolation.
Oh, Ron, they not doing isolation all the time.
They,
Most of the
I
time.
just, I just, I
Hey,
just, no, I
you,
just
you
saw.
know what I consider
I just,
isolation, Freezer? When I watch somebody dribble the ball for 6-7 seconds and then they throw up a shot. Sometimes the ball ain't. I mean, I watched Grimes tonight. I don't think Grimes took a shot until maybe the second quarter. And that's your shooting guard.
yeah. I also saw Grimes run from the basketball.
Oh, hey, ain't no doubting that. And I saw him do some dumb stuff. Man, you at the basket, man. Take the shot instead of
Take the
trying to dump the
shot.
ball. If
Come
you right there at the rim,
on.
do the
that's
layup.
what I said. That,
He
but
Yeah.
teed
this
me
is
off with that tonight.
he had a left-handed layup right in front of him. And
Exactly, right
the
on the
only
left side.
way Jimmy Butler can get to it is if he fouled him.
As if he
Exactly.
fouled him.
Yeah. Why are you trying to pass the ball in tight quarters like that? Take the shot, man.
Just take the man. And then the reason why I disagree with you is I saw the Knicks steal a play out of the Golden State Warriors playbook. And I saw Sacramento run it, and I saw Miami run it in game 2, but it's something that we hadn't ran all year. It's the guard screen and rescreen where it looked like the two guards are like on a pinwheel chasing each other,
Mm-hmm.
setting the screen type
And then
thing.
flipping the screen around.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Mhm.
That to confuse the defenders.
Right. And see, the Knicks hadn't run much of that all year. Right, you clearly Tibbs is making
They
an
ran
adjustment.
some of that towards the end of the Cavs series, which
Right,
is why Brunson got going even
right,
more so. They ran that with quickly, and
right,
then they started doing it with Hart to allow Brunson to get ahead of steam to get to the launching pad and get his floater off or
right,
playmate. It was coming up, setting the screen, and then turning around and confusing the trailing defender,
right,
so they didn't know how to jump or hedge or trap.
right,
It was pretty good stuff. Like we were creating mismatches doing it that way.
right. And
But
then
but
and
the
then
process
you can't
after
get
that is a little bit different than other
it's a little
teams.
dicey too because for
Yeah.
one, it's a little bit dicey for one. The guy going to the basket, if he's not a finisher, you don't have to respect it. And then two, the outlet pass to the guy for three. If the
You
guy's
don't
not
not
threes,
a good shooter.
you don't have to respect that either.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like when we do that, when we do those things, it's kind of because Brunson is so good in the floater area,
Right,
it works. It works over and over and over. But
right,
when you're going against a team that's on a string and then knows how to switch everything and
right.
hustle and relocate and rotate like the Miami Heat, it might work here and there, but it won't work repeatedly over the course of the game.
Hey,
Mm.
you got a question for you. So Justo11, thank you for your generous contribution, Justo11. He says, Dre, if you're Leon Rose, who is on the trading block at the end of he says now, but when the season is over.
Everyone but Jalen Brunson.
Ron.
Well, no. They're not
Okay.
on the trading block. But if somebody calls me asking, and it's a deal that helps me get closer to a title,
But that's
anyone
not
can go over.
but that's not what he asked you.
But
He
who's
asked
on
you
the
about,
trading block? Oh, Obi
right.
Toppin for one.
Okay.
Obi Toppin for one. Trading block is a hard question because that's like finite. That's like
Man,
cut saying
cut the chase and get to your end that, man.
He want a specific answer. He just want
well,
to.
it's a nuanced question because
No,
you
it's
can't
not.
just trading block. Trading block means there's no use for this player on this team, and there's no reality, and I can see us winning with them. The only person I see that is Obi.
Or trading block
I
could
think it's pretty
mean
much a
that you
given.
want
Obi's gone.
that
5
you
minutes
want.
tonight. I think it's pretty much a given.
Gents,
He's
Yeah.
gone.
gentlemen, with 6 minutes of play,
Wiz.
yeah, man. The
Wiz, hey
Giants
Wiz,
awoken.
let me see. Can I say my poetry for you just real quick, Wiz?
Go
This,
ahead.
this
Man.
is
Drop
how
it.
I feel about our young players right now. This is an ode to Ashley Inc. 1, aka Wisdom. Here it is.
I might sell high on IQ.
This is our ode to him, right? Here we go. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. That's my ode to wisdom right there, y'all. Wiz, what are our young guys gonna do to establish themselves?
Oh, you mean like Deuce with 2 minutes of play?
Right, and he looked good too, by the way. I thought
in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I like what I saw from Deuce defensively. I enjoyed watching.
Yeah,
you enjoyed the 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes, baby. Because I know they put 4 minutes on the stats.
Yeah,
he finished our 2 quarters for the last minute of 2 quarters.
Yeah,
so he actually had 2 meaningful minutes today. Really powerful, right?
If you're the Knicks, do you? Why y'all always say that? Y'all be like, "Yo, the bottom line." That can't Wiz. It's a conversation.
I love bottom
line, and I do have to give a caveat too on my saying. I don't think center is the sole reason.
I don't think center.
I'll say that much.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think
for sure.
Randall. The fact is, gentlemen, how do you 4 games? Because we won 1. Even that game, I told you I was still shaky about.
Yeah,
he was given 1.
But all 4 games. We use a certain personnel. We use 8 guys. Then we use supposedly we tried to use 9. Then we use 7 guys. Supposedly tried to use 8. And we come back with the same exact result where somehow these guys are not clicking. Something is off. And we needed something in there to just throw some chaos into this order. And we came back and we still did not use any more than those 7 guys. Because technically Deuce and Obi did not play today. 6 minutes and 4 minutes is not basketball at all in a 48-minute game, right? We should have went and split up with 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I'm here to tell you if we'd have got better production from Obi in them 6 minutes, we'd have won.
Yo, I had an argument
out of here, bro.
Yo, Freezy, I had an argument for about an hour and a half with my brother, and he was like, "Why did he not go back to him?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I do not know why we did not go back to him. I can't give you an answer."
Go back to who?
Obi? The air balls and the
exactly
defensive plays.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest problem with Obi for me.
Big for nothing.
Is he don't play big. He resides to just shooting threes and man,
or rim running.
He
has 6'9" 2 guard.
God-given ability.
Yep.
You play smaller than what your ability is, and your ability is your athleticism, and you don't use it.
At least Kevin Knox would have knocked down corner threes. He would have done nothing else. But Kevin Knox would have knocked down corner threes.
Play to your strength, man. Play to your strength.
Facts.
Yo,
he done fell in love with the 3-point shot. That's what it is with Obi.
Oh boy, he in love with the cocoa. Okay.
I feel like that's part of what Tim wanted to like.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah,
wasn't like that, that's what Tibbs wanted him to do.
that's the
Like
Tibbs wanted.
if he wasn't out there, if he wasn't out there shooting, Tibbs would have just yanked him. Like
Yeah.
that's legitimately what he wants him to do.
There's something to be said about shooting, and there's something to be said about getting to that basket. When he made that one layup where he went to the basket, I'm like, keep doing that. Keep doing
Hey,
it.
Ron, are you talking about the one he laid it up?
With the left hand, yeah.
Why he didn't yam that, bro?
Yeah, that would have been nasty.
Exactly.
That would have been nasty because
Well,
we
you know
needed a
why,
lift
James?
energy wise.
Because here's what happened. Let me give you my personal history. I was 5'5" through junior year of high school. Okay, I grew 7 inches between junior and senior year of high school.
Is this you flexing on me right now?
What?
By
You was a
college,
5'5" junior?
5'5"
Come on, man.
junior.
Get to the
Yeah.
point, bro.
Okay, by the time I was in sophomore of college, I was at 6'3", right?
Okay.
So I played like a 5'5" point guard at 6'3", 185. Then at 6'4", 220, I was still trying to break out of that mentality at 22, 23 years old.
Right.
And at West 4th Street, I was still playing soft, and one cat once said, "Man, you're a big man. You're a big man." I'm like, "What?" And I didn't know I was a big man in my head. And so I think Obi's still there.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
But Anthony Davis actually plays, but he gets double-digit rebounds no
Yeah,
matter
he
what.
plays big, bro. He's
I
aggressive.
tell you what, Freezer, you said that name tonight. Me and Soulfinger was watching that game. I said, yeah. I said we know he's often injured.
Right.
But you would have had an Anthony Davis in this lineup tonight, and no knock to Mitch. It is what it is. We know his game. You know what I mean? It would have been a problem. Anthony Davis, it would have been a problem with this roster. Because see, the thing is, we got to get this offense more diversified, and that's a very good question that young man asked you about what you basically do and who's on the trading block. Because that's definitely, hey, we may as well get ready for it.
Hey,
Because this team
But
is
there's
not.
always the option to go small ball 5, but you know
But
Tibbs don't want to
I'm
do
gonna tell
that.
y'all what I think is gonna happen in the offseason. And I kind of alluded to it when I started talking about the center position.
Right.
Because I started looking at, because I was reading the article, man, and they talking about his mutual interest between Big Cat and the Knicks. And I was like, well, let me see what his contract is looking like.
Yeah.
So I
That's
went and
not
looked at
working out.
Spotrac. When I
Leah,
looked at
a
Spotrac,
dude DM me. A dude
Hey,
DM me and told me Cat was coming.
hey, Freezy, let me tell you. When I went and looked at Spotrac, right, because I read that article, and
Right.
me and Soulfinger was talking, I said, okay, I looked at it. That man is going in the last year of a 4-year, $158 million contract. So this season, I think it's 33 million that he's playing on, or 36. So he's on an expiring contract. They're not going to re-sign him. He's getting traded because Rudy Gobert is another big. You're not going to have that ton of money in two bigs. So he's going to get traded. He's going to get traded.
Oh, for
Are
sure.
you sure he didn't sign his extension?
He's eligible at the end of the season. He hadn't signed an extension yet.
Oh,
The extension is not signed. Take a look at Spotrac, man, because I was shocked when I looked at it. But I said it makes sense why they went and got Rudy Gobert.
Usually they do it
because it's the
2 years
experiment. Because think about it, Freezy. I was sitting there thinking, I thought he was on a $200 million deal. Cause I'm like, why you go get Rudy Gobert and pay all that money? You got tied up in two centers.
Because
But
they're
now it makes
stupid.
sense. Because
well, that too.
it didn't work. It didn't work. So now you can trade him. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to trade him. They're going to trade him. And we know the ties with CAA. Leon Rose was his agent.
But Tibbs
And
does
he's
not
from
like
the
Cat.
tri-state area.
Tibbs does not like
I'm
Cat.
right now.
I hear
Yo,
you saying that, but guess what?
it's
I
not
don't
about.
believe that
He's a
because
wussy,
who did
man.
Tibbs
And
trade?
why we
Tibbs
gonna go
Wiggins.
get a wussy and trade
Tibbs
somebody who
traded
go
Wiggins. He didn't
hard?
trade Big Cat.
It's one of those things where I Carl Towns is talented, very talented.
So he got 2 years. He on the contract through.
But a front court
next season. 23-24.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
That's next year.
I'm looking at 26-27. They have his estimated contract up there. The vet extension with bird rights included.
Let me look at these Carl Towns.
But the fact is,
I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you'll see.
You know what the Lakers won tonight? The Lakers won tonight because a non-rotation player was utilized because of the way Warriors were playing tonight?
And
Lonnie
he got
Walker.
15.
Lonnie Walker
Lonnie Walker.
got
Have
hot.
we tried anything other than the same 6-7 guys to win the game that we haven't been able to win for the past 4 games? I mean, I'm just sorry. I'm throwing this all back at Tibbs.
You
Yeah,
know
our
what the
players are
answer
not
is to
producing.
that. You answered
Yeah,
your
they
question.
did give him the extension
Yeah, that's what
of
I thought.
Freezy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. His extension kick in after that year, Ron said.
So they did give him the extension?
Yeah. See, this is the estimate for the first year of that extension. It's on the screen. You
So
notice
is he-
nobody
he's
else
still-
is notice nobody else is on the roster, right?
Mm.
But Karl Anthony Towns is on the roster.
Yeah,
That's gonna be too much money to have tied up, and they got major problems over there.
Hey, look, Freezy. I'm not trying to pay Carl Towns $50 million.
No way.
His knees are on borrowed time, by the way.
All big men get like that though.
Yeah. All
Oh,
big man.
okay.
Freezer, you read my
To
mind,
shoot
boy.
jump
You took the
shots.
words right out of my mouth.
Yo, we might as well get what you call out of retirement. What's my man name? Who
Josh
played
Gibson?
against? Nah. What's my man
You
name?
talking Tree Rollins?
No, not even that. Not that even. Man,
You talking about Jack Sigma?
Moses Malone.
No, I'm
Fofo?
talking about. Stop it, man! You killing me. No, I'm talking about my guy. Jesus, why can't I think of from the Clippers? We got him. And he played with
Boogie
Pat.
Cousins?
Man. No,
Charles Smith?
Charles Smith. We might as well get Charles Smith again.
Boy, you call that name, boy.
Ooh.
You call that name.
Carl Anthony Towns reminds me of Charles Smith.
He does to me
I'm
too.
not about to be that disrespectful.
Yeah, come on.
No, I'm going to be that disrespectful, Dre. Stop it, man. He's softer than baby poop.
That dude numbers he doubled what Charles Smith do, bro.
I could care less.
You talking about the
I could
greatest
care less
big man
on a sap ass team. Come on, man.
What's Sam Perkins doing?
Exactly.
No, but for real though,
you talking about Montrezl Harrell? They ain't doing that.
I tell you one thing. I know you got to account for Big Cat with the ball in his hand. I know that much. You can't just play off and lay off of him. I know that much. That add a whole nother element to your offense.
Ron, let me make y'all mad, bro. I just want to make y'all mad, but briefly. It's all in love. You know I love y'all, right?
Yeah.
You know I love y'all, man. But I got to make y'all mad for just a minute. Why do Knicks fans love defense so much?
I can answer that quick for you. Because
defense wins championships, right?
Yeah, defense wins championships in the last.
How many championships have the Knicks won since they've been focusing mainly on defense?
Well, Freezy, I'll say this: 9 out of the last 10 champions got a top 5 defensive rating.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, but name me the best player on those championship teams.
Superstars.
No, not just superstars. Offensive juggernauts on those teams that you mentioned, right?
Game changers.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Is
you
Steph Curry,
you are 100% right. You are 100% right, but you got to build around.
And one of the greatest, right? But one of the greatest defensive point guards ever, Gary Payton. Gary Payton.
You can hide guards. You can't hide bad defensive bigs, Freezy. You know that.
Okay.
You can hide guards all the time. We've seen it all the time. You can't hide a bad defensive big. Name a title winning team with a bad defensive big starting.
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I'm asking you, a Knicks fan, why are you hell bent on defense when you've been hell bent on defense for the last 40 years and have 0 titles?
But guess what, though,
Freezy, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd take an offensive dynamo at the wing or at the guard
Freezy,
over having it at a center position, like a one-way center.
I'm looking for balance.
Right, that's exactly. You stole my point, Ron. That's exactly where I was going with it.
I'm looking for balance.
Why we can't just have a balanced team? Why do we have to have D'Antoni or Thibodeau?
And you have to be balanced to win the championship.
You have to be.
Ain't no team winning no championship with just defense, and ain't no team winning the championship with just offense. It's proven you have to be balanced.
But here's the caveat. Who are you stopping when your back line is Julius Randle and Carl Towns.
But
Thank
I'm
you.
not.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
That's not what I said. I said balance. I never
Okay.
said.
Yeah, okay.
I never said
balance.
one way. I never said one way or the other.
Okay. Well, when we
I
talk
asked you
about
the
balance,
main thing I
yeah.
said was let me make a Knicks fan mad, and I love y'all. But why do we focus so much on defense? That's what I said, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's 100. Like it's doable, but you got to have like Carl Towns is not Jokic, and Jokic is a generational big man on
Yeah.
offense.
Yep.
And to his faults, they he has a contender right now, but his ability or lack thereof on the defensive end is basically the biggest Achilles heel that gets exploited very often, right?
I'm just Dre. Let me ask you this: who are the two best defensive centers that you've seen in your lifetime? The two best.
Hakeem,
Yep.
Kevin Garnett,
Matumbo, Dwight
Garnett,
Howard.
Garnett,
Oh, damn it.
Garnett,
You
Dwight
gonna say
Howard.
okay?
Garnett.
All right.
I'm
So okay.
I said
going
Garnett.
Matumbo.
Okay.
Garnett's not a center though.
You
Yeah.
said big man. He didn't stipulate
No, he said
center.
center. He said
Yes, it's center.
center.
You said
Yes,
center.
He said
I
center.
could have
Yes.
swore he said big man. Okay, well if he says center, then in my lifetime,
In your
Dwight
life.
Howard
You had one
Dwight
right. You
Howard
had
have to
one
be
right, young man.
Dwight Howard would have to be up there. But well, do we count Tim Duncan?
No.
Well, Dre, if you say Tim Duncan is a center right now, when we have the greatest power forward of all time conversation, you can't put him in that.
Yeah, but he's greatest power forward for his era. But if he played right now, he'd be a center.
No, oh,
Stop, man. Why are you switching it up, bro?
he like Neo, bro. He like Neo on these questions.
Oh,
But I've ever seen Dwight Howard would have to be up there, and Ben Wallace, greatest defensive centers. Ben Wallace would have to be up there as well.
All right. So those are your greatest two that you've seen in your lifetime.
Yeah, in their primes that I've seen, because I can't say I've seen Hakeem in his prime or someone like David Robinson in his prime.
No, I'm not asking about that. I was asking about the two that you've seen in your lifetime.
Right.
Right. And so what I'm gonna say to that is this. Right? What I'm gonna say to that is this. I've seen Chris Bosh play the 5 and be just as effective as they were in the playoffs.
wow.
Now, while they were great in the regular season and probably won awards, Chris Bosh moving to the 5 after they let Joel Anthony leave. You remember when they wrote their centers with Joel Anthony and Udonis Haslem and Birdman? Y'all remember that?
Birdman, yeah.
And Birdman, yeah.
They started them even at the 5 during the regular season, but when it came down to 16 games, they put Bosh at the 5.
They put Bosh
because he's balanced.
Right.
He can play defense and offense.
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is if the Knicks fans and Knicks organization would give you an example. Any Giants fans in the building? Any New York Football Giants fans here?
You need to stop that. You need to stop that.
I'm just asking.
You really need to stop that.
Lee, it's not all about you, bro. We got to chat here too, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, Lee think everything. No, what I'm saying is the two most memorable plays in the New York Giants football history have nothing to do with defense. And Giants fans love defense, right?
You have the catch on the helmet and Plaxico Barrett's catch.
Yep, and
No,
the Buffalo
not the
Bills
Plaxico.
kicker, and the Buffalo Bills kicker missing wide right. That was a special teams play. That was not defense.
Oh man, that dude, man. I don't know how he ever went back to Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't.
You can
I don't
always count on him missing the field goal.
I know Darryl Talley threw a cup in his face. I remember that.
That was the greatest football team to never win a championship, man.
Buffalo,
greatest football team. Period.
But yeah, it's what I'm getting at, and so Ron, what I'm getting.
Ron, I'm not gonna go at you right now because we're talking about Knicks stuff. So I'll talk to you later about that. But anyway,
and ultimately, the point that I'm getting at, man, is New York Knicks fans are hell bent on absolutely love and can't do without a defense only player And then when they get the defense only player, they all of a sudden want to turn him into 30 points a game.
Ain't happening.
Right? Instead of going to get 30 points a game and then incorporating him into team defense.
Yeah, get some defenders around him to accentuate what it is that he can't do.
Right, because if I say the Knicks should go after James Harden, you know what people will say?
He don't play defense.
Man, I don't want no James Harden.
Because no.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Because we have been spoiled for the simple fact that we had Patrick Ewing, who was a hell of a defensive player.
To me, the best big man ever. I don't care what nobody say. Period. I'm biased.
Right.
And
Ron too.
I'm a Patrick Ewing lover.
And the one other thing too, I want to point out that Knicks fans that wasn't there or they were too young to remember. They were like, man, I love those 90 Knicks, man. That defense was no. Give that big Jamaican guy his credit. It was not the 90s Knicks, bro.
The only guy was afraid of.
Patrick Ewing was a generational talent. And he dragged bad rosters to the playoffs every year. Every year, bro. This dude might have had one additional All-Star every 4 seasons.
Man, if Pat had shooting around him, he would have won a couple.
Pat would have won, bro. If think about this, what if Pat had Scottie Pippen and not Mike?
Hey, I'll go one even further. The team, when we lost to Houston beat us for the very reason that Pat had the opposite of what Houston had. They had a young Sam Cassell. They had a Vernon Maxwell. They had a Kenny Smith.
Yeah,
them guys were knockdown shooters. A Robert Ory, young Robert Ory.
Mario Ellie.
Talking about what you saw.
Thank you. That was the name I was about to say. Mario Ellie.
Mario Ellie. Man, that was a knockdown shooting team.
And you know what else Rudy Tomjanovich did? When he saw a bad matchup, he exploited it.
Yep.
Right. You remember when he brought Carl Herrera off the bench to ISO against Charles Oakley? And Charles Oakley wouldn't even go out there.
I can't forget that cat.
Dre, absolute nobody, bro.
Yeah.
This dude was an absolute nobody at power forward, but he was a
bucket.
Are you drawing
Venezuela.
parallels? Are you drawing parallels to the Heat? Are you drawing parallels to the
Dre. You talking about a cat from Venezuela?
Carl Herrera had that toughness.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you drawing parallels to the Heat and that Rockets team?
Yes,
because their approach is to basically bring your center out the paint.
Yep.
And then
except they brought Oakley out in the mid range.
Yeah, and then
Herrera would get in a triple threat and pump fake and get Oakley off his feet and hit a floater over Pat.
And then just kill you from 3.
And then when Oakley wouldn't come out there, he would just stand there and knock down 18-footer after 18-footer. After 18-footer, it was like a dying from a paper cuts, bro.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think people really appreciated Patrick Ewing's greatness, man. I really don't think they do, man.
Right. Who's the coach? Rudy T?
Rudy Tomjanovich.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich.
Yeah, and who was a great player too, by the way.
Yeah.
Injury took him out, right? He got hit in the face or something.
You know, he had a bunch of injuries, man. That was just the straw that broke the camel back.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I remember he got punched in the face and it just ended it.
Yeah, that was
dude almost got killed, man. That punch almost killed him.
Yeah, but that wasn't just it. It's kind of like the Carmelo and Anthony injuries, where you like, dang man, a knee injury took him out. No, it wasn't just a knee injury, bro. It was like watching Stoudemire. It wasn't just a broken hand that took out Stoudemire, bro. It was just an accumulation of injuries over the course of time.
You know,
Danny Landis.
It was all that high wire act, man. That stuff catch up with you as a big man. All that dunking all the time. That will catch up. Pounds of pressure on them knees.
Yep. So yeah, man, it's you know, I asked my Knicks fans and my Knicks family, why do you want to win a championship a certain way instead of just wanting to win a championship, period?
Freezy, I agree with you to some extent, but Carl Anthony Towns is not the way to go.
I never said that. I never said
I
that.
know you didn't. I know that. But I kind of slick feel like I'm not saying you did, but I'm feeling like you're somewhat alluding to it. And if I'm wrong, let me be wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
wrong. You wrong.
Okay,
I
then.
would I
Okay.
would agree. I would agree that more balance should probably be more helpful in
Balance
the
is what
long.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
not
because
necessarily
that's
Carl
the thing.
Towns specifically, but a guy that can
That's
like
the thing, Dre. We need
cause,
that, man.
cause
We need
like
that.
cause like when you look at like all the teams remaining left, they have a center or a guy that plays center that can get buckets relatively.
Exactly. Every
Right.
team in this playoffs right now.
And notice, I'm trying to get y'all away from the center position, right?
And Boston does not have a center that can score.
Hey, look, man, Al Horford has been hitting
Al
three
Horford
after three
is
after
that dude.
three
Al Horford
after
is not
three.
their
Even
center.
at his age.
He
Al
starts
Horford
at
is not
center.
their center.
He starts at center for them.
Yeah, he's been starting that center for them lately. But anyway, it don't matter. The point that I'm getting at is even if you get your rim protector at center, right? Why do you need also a non-offensive wing play on the floor at all times?
Who, Josh Hart?
Quentin Grimes,
Nah,
Quentin
I was
Grimes.
gonna say
Quentin
Grimes.
Grimes.
or with one of them. They're both, all of them.
You got
Deuce
two guys
McBride,
that are mirror image.
yeah,
He looks
Miles
awful.
McBride.
They're mirror image.
Yeah, the point that I'm getting at is even though Golden State has a Gary Payton II, bro, they have Jordan Poole who thinks he's a bucket, bro.
Oh, Jordan Poole was terrible tonight. But
Right, I know. But he thinks he's
confidence. His
notice I said
confidence
he
meter
thinks
is
he's a
always
bucket,
off
right?
the meter.
hey, look, that is a terrible contract. But I digress. Go ahead.
But no, I said I said he thinks he's a bucket.
Right.
And you got to have guys that have that confidence that they feel like they can get a bucket.
Yeah, he got an
anytime
alpha
they want.
mentality.
Yeah.
He got an alpha mentality.
But who do the Knicks have off the bench that has that mentality? Notice
Nobody.
I said they have a Gary
Nobody.
Payton off the bench.
No,
and a Jordan
we thought he. No, hold on a second, Dre. We thought he had that IQ. Past tense, because he damn sure ain't showing us doodly squat. You understand what I mean?
Hey,
And that's
Curly,
been
hey,
from
I
the
appreciate
entire
you for saying
playoff.
that, man. I appreciate you for saying that because I know how you defended the young fella. You know what I mean?
I
But I
like IQ too,
appreciate you
by
for
the way.
saying that. That's what I'm talking about. That I love talking to people who call it like it is, and not defending players when they ain't playing worth a quarter. You know what I mean? And y'all know how I was on RJ's head, man. And I said, for me, he was the biggest disappointment, and still was in the regular season. But in the playoff, he was my biggest surprise. And for the playoffs, quickly is my biggest disappointment because if anybody would have told me coming in these playoffs, given how quickly played in the regular season, that he would have played like this in the playoff, I would have been like, no way,
Yo,
no
I'm
way.
gonna jump. I'm gonna jump on that, Ron. Quickly's career, funny enough, it mirrors Brunson because Brunson's first time in the playoffs, he was benched for Trey Burke, by the way,
Yep.
because he was that bad while he showed signs in the regular season as a six man. And when they got to the playoffs, Brunson was so unplayable, they played Trey Burke over him.
Yep.
Trey Burke.
I tell you what, if Trey Burke was with us, he was a bucket.
But
the point though is that you live and learn.
But I get what you
yeah,
say. I get what you're saying.
And I'm saying, like the playoff physicality and the intensity, it was too much for Quickly for right now.
But
I'm not going to say that's an indictment.
Talk when he came in because he was like, when the playoffs started, he's like, this is what I'm built for.
Well,
I remember his press
he's
conference.
seen that he's not.
He said the lights ain't too bright for him.
Yeah,
let me. Oh, go ahead, Lee.
No, but I want to clarify my point. That doesn't mean that I'm totally down on.
Oh, I feel you. You just calling it like you see it. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with calling it like you see it. I feel you.
Yeah,
We all want
because
that man to play good. He in the next uniform. If he play good, our season keep going. And that's the disappointing thing is like, man, our bench disappeared. Totally disappeared.
That was supposed to be our advantage.
Leading our bench, who can't really stay on the floor because he's a major defensive liability. In
Ron, let me ask you this though, because I understand where you're going. Let me ask you this because I want to add something to it. If I told you one of our starters was shooting 29.2% from the floor, who would you think it was?
One of our starters
Yep.
Jalen Brunson.
29%. I'm thinking it's Quentin Grimes.
It's Quentin Grimes, bro.
It's PG.
Quentin Grimes is
It's Quentin Grimes.
29.2% from the floor.
It's Quentin Grimes.
Right. And if I asked you what percentage you thought Obi Toppin was shooting, if I gave you a range, 60s, 50s, 40s, what range would you say Obi Toppin was shooting in?
We mean just overall field goal percentage?
Yeah, in the
50
range.
something.
50s,
I would
50s,
say
40s,
about 47%, 48%.
He's shooting 43%. 43%. RJ Barrett before the night started is shooting 43.8% before the night started. And before the night started, Brunson was shooting 44.2.
And I know he's been our best 3-point shooter too.
Yeah.
RJ has.
Yeah.
In this series, RJ has been by far the best 3-point shooter on this team.
Yeah.
I think he's shooting like 40, like high 40s in a series.
Yeah, and so the point that I'm getting at is while we point out like say one specific person, everybody has been bad, bro.
Oh yeah, we hadn't had a game at all in this playoffs where the Knicks just clicked.
Up until this point, the Knicks have the worst 3-point shooting percentage in a series in NBA history.
Yeah,
but you know how they say, man. Hey, you can get by for a while trying to cover up stuff, man, and who you really are gonna show.
Yeah,
and you know, truth be told, I mean, we had Hart that went crazy when he came to the Knicks and was shooting ridiculous from 3. Brunson was shooting on a tear from 3 for a while, but eventually the Knicks came back to who they were.
And you know when we acquired Josh Hart, one of the secret narratives that people didn't pay attention to is as soon as we got Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett went into slumps.
Absolutely.
And it took them a while to adjust. I think it took them like 10 games to get back right once Hart got here.
You know why, Freezy? Because they heard this. Those footsteps in the dark. And I ain't talking about Ronald Eisman.
Oh, I was thinking you were talking about Ronald.
But Ron, can I say this?
Yeah.
And I need y'all to listen to this. But I kept telling y'all when it came to RJ Barrett, iron sharp as iron. And I said that Josh Hart is going to make RJ Barrett a better player.
You absolutely did.
I kept saying that, and y'all, you know what I'm saying, with all due respect, not to anybody else in this panel or in the chat, some of y'all kept poo-pooing what I was saying. And I told you this boy was going to show the hell up.
I'll say
his defense changed once Hart came in. And that teed me off. I'm gonna tell you, Carly, that teed me off because you know what I said? You've been holding out on me.
I really think over the course of the season, you know, like NBA guys lose weight over the course of the season. Like, they'll come in at 230 and wind up and end up at 220 by the end of the year.
Yeah,
so
all that
215.
So I feel like I feel like RJ put on like a lot of unnecessary weight. I think
RJ looked like 233 to me, 235.
Yeah, he looked real big.
I can see the gobbler under his neck. You know how people put weight on? They had a gobbler. Yeah, I can see the gobbler under his. Yeah, I was like, come on, RJ, bro, you can't.
He looked more fit now, 8 months into the season, than he did at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
and you could tell, like, you saw the play where RJ took Jimmy Butler off the dribble right to the rim.
Right to the rim, yeah.
Like he wasn't there, and he didn't have that burst at the beginning of the year, at all.
Yeah.
So I think, in my mind, RJ needs to either keep this particular weight or even edge down even further to get back to his year 2 weight. Where he had a little bit of burst.
Trey, you know what though? We understand that it's not an RJ thing; it's a New York Knicks requirement. Right? Hey, think about it. You remember the year they told Mitch to get to 275?
Oh yeah, and it took him. It took him so long
to play off that weight.
Yeah, it's So, might call me crazy. I'm not counting the season out already, but RJ's gonna take that next jump next year.
Yeah.
What?
I'm already thinking it. Like, he's gonna be like, you know how when Randall first got in shape, but that second year he was well into shape.
ripped.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen with RJ,
Yeah, I
where he
think
like bulked up, but he didn't get ripped. He didn't
right.
get all the way into shape, and I feel like he's gonna be he's gonna take that jump.
Jacked. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
gonna
gonna
be.
take that jump. He's gonna take
Yeah,
that jump next year.
yeah, man. I'm working on that right now. I bulked up because when my knee was when my knee was hurt, when my knee was hurt, it was just
I can see
pills,
them traps right
PlayStation.
now, Freezy. I see it.
The triple.
Nah. I see how you moving around the keyboards. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the way you type so much better. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
In
yeah,
fact,
oh yeah. Them thumbs,
your type,
bro.
yeah,
Them thumb
them
weights,
thumbs is so
something.
much better.
I'm gonna tell y'all, like I said, man, RJ for me, he gained my respect, man. He gained my respect because regular season.
Didn't you want him out of town though?
Oh, you absolutely right. I was gonna fly
You
him
about
up
to
out of here on the
drive? You
first
about
day
to drive
started.
him to JFK?
Yeah,
That's right. I would have took him. And I'm
yeah,
gonna
man.
tell you.
When all actuality, hey, it might be the young boy quickly be like, you know what? Hey, son.
He might be up out of here because my thing is, man, and Freezer, we always
I
talk about
don't.
it, man. Hey,
And to speak, and I'm not trying to speak prematurely, and I'm not trying to drive no narratives to push that
yeah,
man up out the city
I feel
because
you.
I respect this game and I love him and I love his moxie. You know what I'm saying? Because when he's out there leading our second team, especially in the regular season, he leads them. Because I remember at one point when we were playing Boston, and he told Julius Randle, "Yo, I'm about to end this game," and he did that.
I'm gonna
It's
tell you
growing
what
pains, man.
we gonna
It's
have to
growing
do, Corey, to get
pains.
the best out of him though. We got to go get a legit point guard to run that second unit because quickly needs to be shooting. Quickly is at his best when he don't have to worry about creating for nobody else. That's when he's
And
at
he
his
might,
best.
you quite might be possible.
Hey, let me just throw this in there, bro. When the Knicks
Bellamy.
move Tom Thibodeau off that chair and let Johnny Bryant be the man, quickly gonna be an all-star. Because I don't think quickly is holding quickly back. I think Tibbs loves that basket. Tibbs is married to Wilson, bro. Tibbs
You
is
got that
married to
right.
Wilson, bro. He
He
and the
divorced
reason,
Spalding and married Wilson.
yes, bro. I'm telling you, and I know that sounds crazy, right? But Tibbs doesn't allow players to do fancy stuff on. He don't allow them to create everything. If y'all never noticed that the Knicks always finish 29th in the league in assists?
Yeah.
Yeah, we a terrible assist team. I can tell you the last time we've been a good assistant team.
Right, and the reason for that is because
Mark
Tibbs,
Jackson.
in order to get assists, you have to risk a turnover.
yeah, and Tibbs is
Yeah, you got to be
anti-turnover.
creative. You got to be creative.
Yeah, Tibbs don't want you to turn that thing over,
I'm
man.
gonna tell you what.
He's risk averse.
Go to
Yep.
State lost tonight, man. But I watched Steph Curry put on a clinic passing that ball tonight, man. I was shocked at what I
People
was
say he's
watching.
not a point guard.
He the
He look
greatest
like
point
it.
guard ever, bro.
He looked like one tonight. I can tell you that.
Yeah, he the greatest point
He
guard
looked
ever.
like one tonight.
Well, second greatest.
Nah, man.
That guy had a trip dub tonight.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
had about 14 assists.
yeah. Hey, and you know what else, Ron? You know what the thing about Steph, and I think this is what quickly is going to be next year. Not Steph Curry, but listen, hear me out on it. Steph went from a dude that was about 170 when he got into the league to a rocked up 195 for the past 7 or 8 years.
210.
And that took years to get to that
So
point.
you can only trust me. I know about gaining weight, bro. It
Yeah,
don't
he looked like
happen.
Kid on
It
the
don't
Shed.
happen overnight, bro. You gotta work at it. Get adjusted to it. Work at it. Work certain muscles, bro. Because the thing is, you don't want to just bulk up and then be Chauncey Billups. You want to bulk up and
That's when
still.
injuries happen.
Yes, man. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Right. I think this time next year we'll be talking about quickly should be starting with Brunson.
Well, I can tell you this, Reezy. I'm gonna tell you when back to that question that young man asked about trades and stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you, for me, I've seen enough in these playoffs that I'm comfortable saying what I'm getting ready to say.
Go ahead.
I'm moving RJ to the 2, and I'm going to go get me a bona fide small forward, and I'm sending Grimes to the bench unit. Wait quickly. That's what I'm doing this offseason. I'm doing it because I look at our team, man. We really don't have no small forward on this team. That guy we picked up in the
Yup,
offseason.
that's what I was gonna get to.
We picked up that guy in the offseason, man, but we actually need 2 small forwards. Right. We actually need 2. We need a bona fide one, and then we need somebody to back that joke up.
Right. Yeah, we got guys masquerading as small forwards, but they're not really small forwards. Like
great way to put it.
Josh Hart is 6'4", but he tries to play really big. But
even their backups, even the future of the position, Daquan Jeffries and Trevor Keels are the same build.
It's like the Knicks want to corner the market on power forwards playing out of position.
Yes, bro.
Small power forward.
I was going to say something.
Frank Ntilikina.
We still waiting for him to develop.
Oh, God.
May I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
What's good, boss?
Nothing, man. Same old. You know how I am about this team. I love them to death, but they just like, damn, why'd you do that again? Right. So for me right now, to be honest with you, yeah, we got a lot of struggles. It wasn't mostly defense. It was the fouls. Hart got into foul trouble mad early with 5 fouls, and then they just changed up the whole tempo. I honestly think that with our woes that we have, 1 or 2 minor adjustments for next year, I think we can work with it. And it's not that much because, to be honest, I really think we have something here. We're just missing 1 or 2 pieces. The gentleman that said small forward, I was about to jump into that topic. Herbert Jones is a free agent next year. I was thinking we should try to sign him or go with Martell's Wagner, the center from Orlando. I know he's the center, but I'm just saying we need another guy.
Mo Wagner?
No, Martell's Wagner. Yeah. He's young. We can mold him into a power forward. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry I said his name wrong. One of those 2 guys, but I really would rather get Herbert Jones, sign him as a free agent. Resign Hart, keep Hart off the bench, see how that works in him and what's his name? You guys just said his name. Dang it. How they work off of each other.
Quickly,
yeah, exactly. Let him try to like mold them into a better player. And to be honest, I want to see how Miles McBride does because I want to put him on the second team with Hart and see how that works out, but have Hart at the small forward. Like I said, I just think we need like a defensive person like a Herbert Jones, to be really honest with you. I would love to get an Alex Caruso, but that's reaching.
You need another 6'4" power forward?
Yeah. No. Put him at small forward.
I was going to say about Herbert Jones, I would love Herbert Jones on this roster, but we still need shooting. Because that's the bane of our existence. And one last thing, Herbert Jones has his bird rights, so we'd have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to snatch him from New Orleans. New Orleans has his bird rights. Yeah. So we would have to overpay by a ton for them to not consider bringing him back because their whole identity is over there. We want 3-and-D. We want to be the future. We want a bunch of guys that are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", with long wingspans.
If they don't sign CJ McCollum back, then they'll re-sign him. But if they re-sign CJ
not if they re-sign CJ's not going to get paid a lot. He's breaking down, so he can't ask for a lot anyway.
That's the dude that I think the Knicks should probably go after.
CJ.
And I know,
but you should be trying to make IQ your CJ.
Yeah. What about Paul Reed?
I like Paul Reed.
The question for Quickly is what kind of contract they're gonna give Quickly. Are they gonna pay him this offseason or wait till next season? That's the question.
Well, that's really dependent on how IQ views himself.
If I'm Quickly, I'm doing 2 for 30.
So I think it's more so how IQ plays the next season.
We got to remember IQ finished second in 6th man of the year.
If I'm Quickly,
but that was due to coaching though, because he started more than he actually like.
Nah. He was deservedly he probably should have won six
Won
man.
six
Six
man
man,
of the year.
Yeah, because
six man of the year is not just because you come off the bench every time. The six man is the first guy to come off the bench. If there's
exactly.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he started more games than that passed the requirement because I think he could
Yeah,
only
but the
start
no,
thing
no,
is,
no,
like
no, no,
he
no.
no more
started.
than 20
There's
games
He
or
the
something.
started because
requirement.
of
The
injuries.
requirement is you have to play more games off more games starting than off the bench. IQ only played like 10 games starting.
Yeah, he only started. IQ started what 8 games.
Yeah, that's
I think.
not,
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, but the dude he lost to was more deserving. That's the
he
reason.
played
Yeah,
every game.
Brogdon ball, man.
But
Brogdon
Yeah,
ball, man.
that's the reason why they
I
say he
can't
won.
complain about that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Now,
man.
anybody
Yeah.
other than Brogdon, I would have had a problem.
So Ron, Ron, you know we've been doing this for a while, right? So finally, I have inside sources.
What?
Yeah, I have inside sources now, which ain't nothing because I ain't nobody. I'ma still eat fish on Friday. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
He talking about me, man. I'm the inside source.
Oh, that's Free Sharania? Free
Yeah,
Wozorowski?
yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him.
so drop
Yeah.
something on us. Drop a gem on us.
So the Knicks are going after the 3 very high profile small forwards.
Let me
3 of
guess
them.
if I can guess them.
I'm not
Are they
saying
free?
nothing.
Are they free agent?
I can't say nothing else.
I can name one.
Okay, I think I know. I think it might be Kuzma. I'm thinking Jaylen Brown.
Paul George.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
What you mean? Why?
So yeah,
That's the biggest
Paul
deficit.
George,
Them
Paul
names are
George?
difference makers.
So
Those-
y'all missed the whole point of the reason I said it. So you know right now you already have a dude playing the 3, right?
Yeah, we got a
RJ
guy
Barrett.
playing the 3.
Yeah.
But we need to move him. We need to move him to the 2.
RJ might be the he might be the casualty like Shai Gilgeous Alexander.
I get where you're going at with that, Dre.
He might be the casualty. He
I'm a-
might be the crown jewel that gets moved on top of a few picks
Yeah.
for that
Man,
guy.
and Freezer, you remember we had this question. You asked this question. It's funny how things come to fruition, man. I remember you said, depending on how this season ends, would y'all consider this a disappointment?
Yep.
And here we are. Because I'm gonna go on record and tell y'all this, fellas. I think Wednesday night is the end.
I wouldn't consider it a disappointment.
And I say this why I say that is because the Knicks ain't showed me nothing that they gonna do any differently than what they've been doing against this Miami team. It look like we don't have no answers, man. Look like we ain't got no answers.
So you about to crank up Jim Morrison. You about to crank up the old rock and roll song. This is the end, my friend.
Like no mas, man. No mas.
My friend.
Tap out.
Can I take a shot at those 3 small forwards?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, somebody fixing the ice cream?
That sound, yeah, I don't know what that sound.
Is it?
I know this is a reach, but I was gonna say Cam Johnson, Dylan Brooks, or Cam Reddish, like getting one of those 3 guys.
Cam
Brooks
Reddish.
is a stretch.
I'm not gonna lie. I do like Cam Johnson. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. Like Cam Johnson, I like, but
that Cam Reddish though, my brother.
Yeah, I know. I said it's a reach. I'm just like I said. I'm trying to guess his list.
So why would y'all don't like Dorian Finney-Smith?
No.
Nah.
I think he's a good player. I like him.
I don't like him because he can't
but,
shoot.
But Freezy, his best position is small ball forward. That's
I don't like him because he can't shoot. But Cam Johnson, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a Tar Heel fan, and that boy was the number 1 option in Carolina, and he was shooting that thing like that in Carolina. Go check the tape and look at him. Same type player,
Cam
was a two-way
Johnson
player in college. You know what I mean? He
Cam
just went
Johnson
to
and
a
Herbert
situation.
Jones.
He went to a situation in Phoenix where he wasn't asked to be that dude. And we seeing what the dude is being. I'm not surprised at all of what I'm seeing out of Cam Johnson.
Carolina always put out good wing players, bro.
Yeah.
Reggie Bullock, Wayne Ellington, they always put out good wing players, bro.
Known for that.
Good. We call it Reggie Bullock good.
Reggie Bullock
On the
was
college
good in
level.
college. He was very good.
Yeah, Reggie
He
Bullock
was very good.
He's an adequate bench player.
Not
Some people
not for
the
North
light
Carolina.
get turned on in the league and they change.
Oh, yeah,
But he was
yeah.
very good in college.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought he was just talking about the league.
No, Dre, you missed the whole part when
you
I
talking
said
about-
college level.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You talking about how you must be thinking about how Jason Tatum used to. Okay.
And look at Harrison
Oh
Barnes.
yeah, and Browns.
Shout out to the dude in the chat that put up Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes still got that spring. He still got them spring.
I still think I might prefer Duke wing players, bro.
Then you might as well keep RJ then.
Yeah, y'all.
It's something
Duke
about
good at
Jason
them point
Tatum
guards.
and Grant Hill.
Hold on a second. Stop putting RJ on the chopping block because if he did not just show you something that he's not leaving New York, y'all need to get slapped in the mouth.
I hear you, boy.
What? Hold on. I got a question that might put y'all up in arms. What if Randall's on the chopping block?
No, hey.
Depending on what you
No.
Nobody's gonna want him. You have a better chance with Toppin because of the age.
No. He's so correct. He is so correct because in 2 playoff series, now you know what I'm saying. Yo, Randall's kind of slick disappeared.
3 actually, but
you know what they're gonna use though. They're gonna say that ankle wasn't right. There's gonna be a caveat.
That's also what I was gonna say too. They're gonna say how he played in the last 4 years with the Knicks, 2-time All-Star. Only had 1 real game where he actually played well, and that was against the Atlanta series.
he played okay tonight offensively.
No, I know, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm not knocking him. I'm just giving you guys the facts.
Trade Randall, and bring Quincy AC back.
No.
That's what y'all
If I'm a trade Randall, I'm change the whole system.
No, because what
that's
did
what
you
Corey
mention
Lee
earlier?
want. That's exactly what Corey Lee want. He wants.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Hell no, I don't want. I don't even want that because I slick want dude back. I want him back.
Right.
I just want him to go the hell up. No, because you know what? No, because the fact that y'all even mentioned his name, which I'm about to throw up in my mouth and say, is Carl Anthony Towns.
Oh no, hell no! I'll just keep Randall.
Dre,
thank you. That's my point.
Lie to you, bro. The thing with the Knicks is the Knicks have solved two positions that have been problematic for like 30 years. Why would we even consider touching it?
Exactly.
Yeah, 25 to 10 is hard to replace that.
Yeah, man. Julius Randle right now, once this series will be over, Julius Randle will be going into his 5th season as the New York Knicks power forward.
Hey, Freezy. You know how many seasons DeMar DeRozan went into as the small forward for the Raptors?
Okay, I got you. Okay. Bim, got you. But here's the thing. How many great small forwards have the Toronto Raptors had? I'll name 2. I'll name 2 just off rip. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter.
That ain't got nothing to do with reality though.
That is reality.
That's past time. That has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with DeMar DeRozan being the number 1 scorer in Toronto Raptors history, and they still shipped him up out of there.
Because the point that I made was that the Knicks, Julius Randle is probably the best power forward the Knicks have ever had. And anybody that disputes that they have not watched Knicks basketball.
That's fine, Freezy, but that would be akin, like the move the Raptors made would be akin to like trading Julius Randle and a bunch of stuff for Giannis. And if you say you wouldn't do that, you'd be out of your damn mind.
I know.
You can't argue with that because that's the only guy that's playing better.
That's like another lane.
KD.
That's a whole nother lane. That's not even what I'm talking about.
But I get what you're saying, Freezy.
Yeah, that's the fact that you fixed the power. Y'all want to bring back Cole Aldrich and Michael Beasley, Derek Williams?
Don't make me cry.
Yeah, Noah Vonleh. That's what y'all want.
No,
it don't even matter. Look, I just want.
Hey, look, man, Freezy. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna lay it all the way out there. Anybody on this team can go if it brings me close to a title. I don't care what position you play.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care if we had terrible small forwards or power forwards in the 70s and 80s. That I don't see that relevant right now.
But that's because because you changed the conversation. That's not even what we was talking about.
That you did.
Yeah, you changed the whole thing. That's the reason why I asked you about Toronto, right? Yeah, of course. I mean, because your point.
I
is
only
right.
mention that because you keep talking about positioning. Like
no, Dre. What I'm saying is what you're saying is right, and everybody on the panel agrees to that, and we all know that. We don't even have to talk about that. We all know if there's a chance for you to upgrade your roster, you got to do it. We talked about that. We talked about that an hour ago when I talked about Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We not disputing what you're saying on that. What I'm saying is the Knicks have finally figured out some stuff within the last 4 or 5 years, and to undo it just for the sake of undoing stuff.
That's what I was gonna say.
Is hustling backwards.
No.
Just like we did with Melo. Like right before we got Melo, we built up our team and we had a good bunch of role players, and then we traded them all for Melo. Don't get me wrong, I love Melo, but we lost a lot of talent, and it took us a while.
I think the thing that we're getting caught up on
put this
is
on the
because
screen.
you
The Melo
said,
trade was crazy. I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is what we gave up for Melo. Go ahead, Dre.
I was gonna say, like, the thing that we getting caught up. Well, the chopping block is such a harsh word.
Oh, Wilson Chandler. I forgot
Like
about
the
him.
word chopping block is such a harsh word. So like chopping block just means you need to get rid of them, and removing Randall would be like addition by subtraction in thought, but that's not like.
But if we're gonna do that,
if I ever were to move Randall, I better be getting an All NBA player back.
If I'm gonna move Randall, I'm gonna change the whole thing, because to be honest with you, the way Brunson and Randall played this year was a surprise. I want to actually feed off of that. I want to see. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'll keep him for one more year, and then next year I'd probably see if I can ship him off. Because what is he on a 6-year contract?
So basically what you're saying, let's run it back.
Yeah, run it back. Let's see how Hart does. Like I said, I like Hart. There's something about him I want to see. I know he hasn't been consistent, and a lot of people hate him, but I want to see him run it back with a whole year. Let's do that. Let's run it back with the same squad. Like I said, add a Herbert Jones or, like I said, a Wagner. We just need a big, whether he's in position or not. I still say we get rid of the Toppin, see what we could get for him, but keep pretty much everybody else. But we need.
I'm gonna tell you what. I think they're gonna shake it up big time. They're gonna shake it up big time, man. Because
I doubt that.
I'm gonna tell you why. I tell you why they're gonna shake it up.
I think we'll really do well with that. Like I don't like Cam Johnson like that because he's a hot. No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I don't like Cam Johnson like that because he's hot on the Nets. But for me, it's like I want to see someone like that. But I think we got him on our team, and whether it's Miles McBride or IQ, or I think we got that. But like I said, we need someone like a Herbert Jones or a Cam Johnson.
Yeah, you said that already though, BT. We heard you.
No, that's right. I'm sorry.
BT said that like 7 times.
We heard you.
I'm saying we paying attention to you is what I'm getting at. We paying attention to what you're saying.
It's just I'm nervous right now.
Ron, we're not making. First of all, if you have not noticed what our front office has done, is that we have not done the knee-jerk thing and made wholesale changes. You know what I'm saying? And when we did that, when we did do that, we saw what we did to ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? What we're going to do is move lightly and move very quietly.
Corley,
you sure about that, Lee? You sure about that?
What I think they're going to do?
Yes, I am sure about that.
They're gonna make a move.
We're gonna make a move. We're gonna make a move, but it's not gonna be. But listen,
they're gonna go get something big. They ain't going to just gonna get something just because the Knicks is one series away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're gonna go to solidify. They're gonna go to solidify that thing and to get to the championship and to win it all. They cannot come back with this same roster next season because you're gonna get the same results. They're gonna.
You know what?
Ron, but no. Let me ask Ron, why not? And for the simple fact of because even though we just because the fact that we didn't or more likely will not do that.
What did you say? I'm lost.
What I'm trying, you're lost because I'm trying to say this is that the fact that self-improvement is everything. You know what I'm saying?
Can we not this thing with a big acquisition because because of the fact that
No.
and reason why, well let me say why. Because you just cut me off and saying no. I hear you
Yeah,
saying no. I'm trying to tell you my reason why I'm saying it. The reason why they're gonna do it is because for the last 3 or 4 years, this offense have ran through Julius Randle.
Yes.
And we see where this has gotten us. No knock to Julius. I love the big fella. 25 and 10. And I always tell y'all that ain't easy to replace. And there's only one other power forward in this league that's playing better than him.
In the
Exactly.
And that guy
regular
right
season.
now is in limbo over there with Milwaukee, with what they got going on, just firing their coach. Don't know if
Yeah,
they're gonna be
their
bringing
old
back some of these
roster and
players
all
back.
that.
You don't know what's gonna happen over there. So
Who's our Iron Man?
and it's already reported they got their eyes looking over there. The Knicks is looking. So to sit here and be 100% to sit here and say, oh, the Knicks gonna come back with this same, they not coming back with this same roster.
I think
Right.
we're not gonna make
Especially when
any.
the front office is on their last year of their deal.
I
And the
don't.
coach.
I think the
I
front
was gonna
office has
say
bought.
that
I
too.
think the front office has bought themselves time and
Making a second round. Yeah, I think
yeah, I think they bought
Yeah.
themselves time, and I feel like
Thank you.
we might go.
And the
We might
coaching
make.
staff.
We might make marginal moves this summer, but next summer it's gonna be mass consolidation.
Dre,
Yeah,
I
that's
had
why I
three. I
said
had
run it
three
back with
people.
this
I had
team.
three people hit me up this week since Sunday and
Yeah.
said no, that's not what they doing. They going big game hunting this
Yeah,
summer.
they're going
I
big
mean,
game. And you
they're
know
gonna
what,
put their
Dre?
feelers out, but I don't know anybody that's gonna be
Dre,
Nah,
actually
you
available.
know what I
you
think they
ain't
would have done
heard me
marginal
though.
if we would have just
You,
made the first round and got bounced. But
yeah,
the fact that
you
we
ain't heard
got
me,
to the
bro.
second round,
Is the front office is going big game hunting this summer, not marginal.
they're pushing their
You know
chips
what I'm
in.
saying?
So then that means
They out there like Elmer Fudd, bro.
we might be moving Randall. Then we might be
Them
moving
Somebody
everybody
going.
except for Bronson,
Hey,
basically.
don't go
Because,
buying no
because
jerseys.
that's the only biggest chip we. That's the biggest chip we got to play.
Nah, we just signed Brunson last year. That's what I'm saying. Like, we really would be dumb to trade him
right.
after one
I
year.
think Brunson is the safest one.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm
also
saying.
real quick, there was a trade deadline rumor at the trade deadline that was closer to getting done than people remember because we got Josh Hart.
That Levine deal.
That Levine deal was closer. Now I'm not saying that it was far down the road, but they made a lot of headway. The pieces were in place for a move for Zach Levine to be moved. And from what I heard, it didn't come down to the players. It came down to the other stuff that go with it, like draft picks and stuff.
And we
So
got to think about it.
Knicks were
Think
looking
about
to
how
get
close
Josh
we are.
Hart and Zach Levine. Yeah.
Think about how
But
close we are.
For whom?
We close to the Eastern Conference
I
Finals.
don't want to say that. I don't know who the principals were. I
that's
don't want to throw out no.
that's why
I don't want to get up. Lee, you know I don't get up here lying, bro. So I ain't
that's
gonna
I'm not.
why
I'm not
I
making.
ain't, I
I'm
ain't,
not
I
gonna
ain't gonna
make you a
say
liar.
I ain't gonna get up here and say who all was in it. That ain't my thing.
And then the
I
thing you
don't
got to
push
look at
rumors
too
and
is how
stuff.
long we've been sitting up. We got all these picks and stuff, man. And you can't play all these young picks that they got. Man, these picks is
but
they gonna have to be moved because the Knicks is in a position to win. And
okay,
this the closest we've been to a title since.
We got about
okay.
6 picks we can move like
Wait, hold
at
on. But
one
let me
time.
explain to you why I say you run it back. You just run it back with the same team because you made it to the Eastern semifinals. You made it to the next round. The problem we had this round was coaching. We got out coached. I'm not saying we need coaching changes, but we just need to learn to make
That.
adjustments. Make some serious adjustments. That's what we learned through the
I
I
don't
think
know.
I
80s.
think it's
I
more
think the
player
roster is flawed.
player
The roster is
personnel
flawed, bro.
than
If the
coaching.
roster's
Nah,
lost this year, then it was all for nothing. Like, we just need that
It's
one
more
more
player
year.
personnel than coaching.
Right, but and then think about this. Every position that we have, that player is short at their position except for Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah. That's why I
And then
said just give it one more
look at that
year.
starting lineup. The only person athletic in your starting lineup is Mitchell Robinson.
You're right.
And
And
plus,
the
like I
only
said,
other athletic guy really can't get on the floor in Obi.
Right.
so, but I
Right.
just
Well,
believe
Obi don't deserve to be on the floor.
I just
You get
believe
my drift though, Freeze.
Yeah, I know.
I just believe that we should give it another try because at least they're trying to show something. And for us to break it up after 10 years of not being there and it somewhat worked, why not? Let's give it another try. Let's see just one more year. That's what I'm saying because then we could free a lot of people off the books. it'll be easier to move assets. And plus, that one more year, like the
BT,
gentleman.
that makes sense. That makes
Wait,
sense.
hold on, Ron.
I'm Uncle Freezy.
No,
Listen,
I
but
was gonna say I was gonna
that
agree
makes
with
sense.
Ron, but go ahead. Sorry.
That makes sense. That makes sense. In a vacuum, but you being still doesn't mean the rest of the NBA is going to be still.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. And in sports, your window for championship, your shelf life is very short.
Right.
People be saying, "Oh, they got a long window." No, that window is pretty much year to year if you think about it.
Right.
Because every year there seems to be some big surprise that come out of the playoff. Somebody come out of nowhere.
And this year it was the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying. So
and
should we run it back?
And Sacramento out west.
Yeah, they didn't make the second. They didn't make the second round. I'm
they
talking
didn't
about
make
like
the second round, but nobody even saw them making the playoffs from where they've been at.
No, but can I say this though? Okay, now listen. Now listen. I'm not big on this either, but okay, say we do run it back, but we make a coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And still run it back with what we have now, and utilize the talent that we still are nurturing. You know what I'm saying? And use them in a whole different light.
I don't. But here's the thing. Because you asked two open-ended questions. One of we didn't get back to. You talked about minor improvement, and we never got we never closed, like put a ribbon on that. The minor improvement thing that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. What I want to say to that is that can be organic, that can be done organically, and it can be done marginally. But the thing about that is, if it's done organically and marginally, do you have to go outside the organization to get that? No, I don't think so.
I never said that. I never said go outside the organization.
I never said you did.
Question.
Lee, I never said. Did you hear me accuse you of that?
No, I know that, bro.
No. I clearly
clarifying
stated
my point.
I stated your point, and I said it was open ended, but I threw my own point in there. I didn't accuse you. Listen, y'all. When I be up here, when I'm talking, it's a conversation. I don't have you. We're not on trial.
Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, I got it. You ain't badgering me. I don't feel.
Yeah. We're not. We all friends here, bro.
Strike that from the record.
Come on, man. It's nothing but love here. Come on.
Yeah. So the thing you said about the improvement, it could be done marginally and organically, right? We could do some of that stuff internally, but I think our hand gets forced. When we see that the guys that we have are not developing into the guys that we want them to be. Now you're forced to move them and get guys who will become the guys that we want them to be. Now with the coaching point that you made, if that is your stance, like I just stated, right? Marginal and organic, internal, external. If you change the coach, now you got to restart the evaluation period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Because every coach, because every coach is going to want their type of player.
They got to establish their own culture.
And now you resetting the clock for like at least a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be, in my mind, it's got to be one or the other. Either you develop them with Tom Thibodeau in the way that Tibbs want, right? Or move Tibbs and start the evaluation and development all over again.
Yep, and start moving Randall
and I agree. And Freezy, I'm gonna tell you this. That's the main reason why I think they're going to your point of big game hunting. Right. Is everybody can agree Brunson accelerated the timeline for this team.
Yeah.
We would not be no second round team looking at no Eastern Conference potential if we didn't have Brunson here. And the fact that Brunson and Julius Randle was the most dynamic duo together in this league, man.
But Ron, let me ask you this, just to follow up, it's only sprinkles on the ice cream cone. This is all it is. Just sprinkles on the ice cream cone, right? Now that you see what you have in Brunson and Randle, what type of move do you make, or series of moves do you make going forward with Brunson and Randle? Do you trade one to bring in a megastar? Do you try to develop everything else around them and bring them up? do you trade away everything else and put a third star in between them? Now, those are options, but you tell me your option, whatever you want.
My option, like I said earlier, because I've seen enough now. Like I said, RJ done made me a believer. When you show up in the playoffs, I can put stock on you. You know what I mean? So those three guys, I'm moving RJ to the 2, and I'm gonna go get me a bona fide small forward this season, and I'm gonna get me another one to come off that bench because I'm not going and playing around, but having guys ask to play small forwards who not really small forwards.
Right.
We've been searching for a small forward for a long time. Small forward and point guard, we've been looking for a while. We answered the point guard problem, so it's obvious the next thing for me. If I'm in that front office, I'm going small forward. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one bona fide, and I'm going to get a backup to that.
Thank you. I'm glad you answered that question that way, Ron, because to keep it 100 with you, because there was no other way you could answer that question other than the simple fact that then we had to make a coaching change. Do you not agree?
Yeah, because if you start making because the thing is, if you're gonna make a ton of movement, that's signaling to me that you ain't too comfortable with nothing you got going on. So that means pretty much what you've been running this season, you ain't trying to come back with that. And so if you're gonna do all that moving, you may as well move off your coach. But if you're going
Ron, or you knew it was whack and couldn't make the moves, and now you making the moves at your first opportunity.
Yeah, to fix it.
Yep.
But I'm gonna tell you, Freeze, I agree. I look at the evidence of this front office and what we've seen from the time they've been here. They've played it safe. They swung big and got Brunson. Boom. That was a big move. That was a big move.
And I tell you like this, because see, right now, this is what we need to be thinking about is like what you said earlier, Freezy, earlier in the last couple of months, leading into where we're going right now, into this place, this dark place, which I don't want to be at, because I really want to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, is the simple fact that either we go get one of the Thompson twins, you know what I'm saying, and that be.
I think one of the boys gonna be Kobe, bro. That dude, Asor, he gonna be Kobe, bro.
Exactly. We go get Asor, but we go get somebody who's bona fide to start right now at the 3. You understand what I'm saying? Until Asor ascends to the position which he
need about 3 years.
Under Tom Thibodeau's tutelage, with him teaching him defense first and assimilating to our culture. You understand what I'm saying? He can ascend and beat out whoever is in his way. We need to get somebody who's on a 2-year, 3-year, you know what I'm saying, on a 2-year, 3-year deal. Get them in here who can start right now, but we get a Asor who can take over for that and ascend with the bench right now.
But
exactly.
What I don't agree with that is like the second y'all blow it up, whether it's coaching or with players, it's what we have right now. Like right now, we're good enough to get to the semifinals. Maybe 1 or 2.
Bro, I didn't say.
But
son,
I see what you're saying. It's about business.
Son, I never said about blowing it up. What I'm saying is this is because we have too many. Listen, we have too much right now. Because listen. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at the draft because that's what we're alluding to. You understand what I'm saying? And into the off season. You know what I'm saying? And not to say to put all our eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? We have an opportunity, not to say the greatest, because you know what I'm saying, not to say that everything is blown our way. Because if the draft blows our way, and they don't, and Dallas does not get a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? We get another 11 pick, and we have all that draft capital.
Yeah.
All that draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all that draft capital, you know what I'm saying, to reach out and snatch the type of player that we need so we can hide him on the bench until he can assimilate himself to be ready for the NBA game.
Hey, the draft lottery is next week too, y'all.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do that, you're gonna start it, whether you change the coach or any little change like
It's
that,
not
you
changing the
might as
culture.
well. Yeah, you are, because look, if you change the coach, he's gonna want a whole
How?
new system. I'm explaining to her.
Well, he's
Please let
saying
me
if you
finish.
change the coach, yeah, if you change the coach,
Exactly. You change
next
the
coach
coach,
gonna
he's
bring
gonna
their own
want to
culture.
implement his system and his players. Even Uncle
Yeah,
Frizzy
yeah,
said
No,
that's
that.
true.
but we're not even talking
That's
about the coach though,
but wait, let me
because see,
finish.
No,
I'm,
that's
I'm,
what that's what BT said. BT said if you change the coach. He didn't say
Yeah,
Lee
if
said
you
change the
change the
coach.
coach, that's most likely you indicating that you want change. So by the midseason, you're gonna be changing everybody anyway. Because what if the players don't click with them as they did with our current coach?
That's a
This is
good
what I'm
point.
talking about with the core. That's why I said any major change like that, unless you're adding players, is gonna cause a problem. Now, if you change players, depending on which players, like Uncle Frizzy said, if we keep Randall and Brunson, now we talking with something that I'll look to see. I say, hey, we could trade everybody and build around them
I tell
because
you like
those are the
this:
guys that work the most. Our
Hold on,
Iron
yeah.
if
Let
I
me
Maiden
was
let me
if
wasn't
I
let me
was
working.
a
hey
fly in that
let
front
me do the
office,
super chat real quick. Just I'm gonna do the super chat real quick, and I got it. So Justo11, thank you for the generous contribution. He says Obi for Duarte, good.
well, you know,
Also, Levine takes us how far?
we did try to go get Duarte from Indiana this year.
Yeah,
That was one of the rumors trade too. They were trying to get Duarte, and that was the guy that we was looking at the draft, but
We can go
Indiana went
after
and snatched
Miles.
him. They wanted Duarte. The Knicks
yeah.
wanted Duarte.
And
man, we do not need stinking Miles Turner. I just hell
Man, I
no.
don't know
I'd
why
rather have
y'all
Cat.
be calling Miles Turner trash. Miles Turner is always in this league in the top two, and when it
Thank
comes to
you.
shot blocking, the man can
Thank you.
shoot.
And
He's better than
that's
Cat Miles.
BS.
Plus his age.
That's BS. That's BS with Big Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Rolled up in a Philly blunt.
That boy
That is
good, man.
crap.
Thank
Miles'
you.
biggest problem is staying
Man,
healthy.
no, he is not.
That's
No,
his
he is
biggest
not.
problem is staying healthy.
And he will
Miles
help
can
us
Miles is
with
shoot.
the
soft
rebound.
though. Like Miles would get
Thank
punked by
you.
Bam
Thank you.
100%.
And a
I'm
Miles
not
lot of
even
ain't
people
gonna
no
lie
that
to
bum.
come
you.
to New York can change.
Thank
We
you. Thank you.
not
We would have
everybody
never got
comes
out the
here
first
with that New
round with
York
Miles
mentality.
Turner.
hey Dre, you know the draft lottery is next week, right?
Yeah, yep. During the conference finals or
Yeah,
before it.
yeah. It's on. I think it's next Thursday, right?
And that's another thing. You change the coach is gonna want to draft his own people.
Yeah, that
Uh,
too.
well,
That's a big
we don't
part.
have a draft pick, so not yet at least.
But you know the
Not
thing,
yet.
you know the question the front office gonna ask, man. If we can be a fly on that wall, man, from this point they asking the question, what can we do to make this team a championship team? Because it ain't gonna be enough just to get to the playoffs next season. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna be enough to just get to the
Expectations
second
is
round.
finals.
Hey
Right,
Not
right
even
now,
Eastern
right
Ron,
now
Conference.
I can
it's
tell you
finals.
right now. I can tell you right now. You want to know?
What's that?
Get rid of these kids and bring in veterans that you know what you're gonna get every single night.
I'm
Wait,
with you, Freezy.
what?
I'm with you, Freezy.
Easy,
That's how
easier,
I love
that,
Grimes.
easier said than done,
I
though.
I didn't
love
hear you. I'm
Grimes.
sorry. Say that
You
again.
know how
so,
you remember I was
Thank
saying
you.
this, Corey Lee, when RJ wasn't playing up the par. What I said, the way we
Oh
are
yeah, you
playing
put
without RJ, we can't afford to wait on RJ with the way Julius and Brunson playing. That's done accelerated the timeline.
Then we
So
get to the playoffs
Knicks can't be
and
waiting. The
and
Knicks
Julius
can't wait.
so
regress.
hold on a second. So let me ask you this question real quick, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So do you not think that RJ has alluded to the help of that timeline
Oh,
in
absolutely.
crucial
Yeah,
moments?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Remember when I was talking about how Julius and Randall was playing and how the team was playing better and RJ was not pulling his weight? And so
Okay, yeah.
I was saying then the Knicks ain't gonna wait on RJ. And you saw that by what they were trying to do, trying to trade him not only in the offseason, but they tried to trade him at the trade deadline. So now that RJ has come to the party, you got three guys that you know that you can count on now. Hey, they definitely ain't waiting. They definitely ain't waiting. And they'll be
Yeah,
a
right,
but
fool to
Okay.
wait. They'll
right,
be
and
a
just
fool to wait.
and
So I'm with Freezy. I love Grimes.
hey,
Guess what?
hey, let me
Guess what?
clarify, Ron.
Buy Grimes.
So you asked me a question and I just provided an answer. That's not really what I want though.
hmm
I hear
Right?
you.
You
It's a
asked the
revolving
question,
door.
what would it take for us or
To
the
become a
question was
championship.
asked to become a championship team.
Yeah,
And my answer to that, though I don't like it, in my mind, the answer is go out and get rock steady veterans to
Yep.
go around Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. And
absolutely.
when you look at the difference between the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat have rock steady veterans to go around Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler.
Agreed.
Yep. But I don't want to build it that way. Like I want to have us better at the 3-point. Like I want to have
Well,
some
but
young
but
guys.
but building a team and putting together a championship level team are two different things, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you think
Good
about to
point.
get bona fide 3-point shooting. Those are normally guys who done been in this league a while and know their game, and know they can knock that 3 down. Those
Yeah,
are
are
not
you
typically your
rebuilding?
young guys.
Yeah, are you rebuilding? Or are you putting together? Are you going on a championship run? Is
I'm
how
going
it should be
championship
outlined.
run, man.
If
I'm
it's
going
if it's a
championship run.
if it's a championship run, then these kids that are developing, you got to sacrifice them for your Chris Middleton type players.
But what's the guarantee that it's gonna work? Like you get all these veterans, and let's say
There is no guarantee.
Nobody's
There
guaranteed
ain't no
championship.
guarantees in sports.
Yeah, nobody's
exactly. That's
guaranteed
why
a
I said
championship.
run it back with what we got, because at least we know at best that we would be semifinalists. And then if it
And
doesn't work, start over.
In a
and
perfect, in
and
a
At
I
least
perfect
wanna
give
world,
I
it
that's
another
what
wanna
you would
year.
do.
I wanna throw in this caveat. Like we might be down on the kids right now, but these are the prime development years. These are the years you see the biggest
Exactly.
jumps.
Homegrown talent.
Guys,
What are we
No,
doing?
guys.
He's not talking about right now. He's talking about coming up. He's talking about coming up after this.
Yeah, I'm talking
These
about
these are
from
the years coming up.
years 2 to 3, the
Right.
jumps from years 2 to 3, the jumps from years 3 to 4.
Yeah.
In RJ's case, 4 to 5.
Yeah.
These are the years you see the biggest jumps in improvement. These are the years you see IQ go from
Grimes will be better next season.
like these are the years you'll see IQ go from like number 2 in 6 man of the year to being a prohibitive favorite to it because
To
you
be
just be
in
more
next
consistent.
next year, he might be Jalen Brunson, 16 points a game.
Right. These are the years you see them take the jumps. Like these guys aren't in their 6th or 7th years like Josh Hart, where you know where Josh Hart is going to be this
Yeah, you
year,
already know
next
who he is.
year,
Exactly.
year after that. He's going to be who he is, which is a good player.
Same thing with
But
Mitch. Yeah.
but like when we talk about these young guys, they're the mystery box, for better or worse. But they're the mystery box, and they have the potential to jump a lot higher than what
But
we
Dre,
think they are right this second.
But Dre, is that not appealing to other front offices though?
It is appealing to other front offices, but do you? This is a question I pose to you guys. Do you want to potentially be somewhere for the next 2 years competing, and then we get capped all the way out? The
Yeah.
aging veterans that we just got, they
Yeah.
fall off after 2-3 years. Then you're kind of mirroring the current Buck situation, but without a ring.
I agree with you.
But as long
I
as you
don't want
got the
that here, too.
foundation, you can always keep adding around that
But
foundation.
that foundation is built on a 2-time MVP.
Dre, every time you drive your car on the road, there's risk of a flat tire, bro.
Yeah, but there's risk of a flat tire. But
I
you,
like
but,
that,
but
Freezy.
but there's also a thing called insurance, Freezy.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
there's a thing
And
called
roadside assistance.
Right.
Right.
So-
right.
so-
but here's the thing though. Every time you drive on the road, there's a risk of a flat tire. No matter who you call Ghostbusters, right? No matter who you call, there's always a risk of a flat tire, bro.
But you can't. But that's like Ryan without a suspended license.
Well, yeah. I get that part, but ultimately what I'm getting at is
You gotta run
you
into problems.
you still gotta ride the road. You still gotta drive.
There's problems either way.
Yeah,
I think
because the alternative. Think about the alternative. The alternative to it is being the Houston Rockets. Which one would you prefer?
But
I'd rather be a contender every year.
But
than to be
we are
the young
nowhere.
team.
Freezy. If we make no moves, we are light years ahead of the Houston Rockets. So I don't see that comparison.
No. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about in general. Like, are you in that perpetual rebuild like the Knicks used to be in, or are you gonna drive and be on that road? Because we are on the same road as the Bucks, bro. We're in the playoffs. Guess where the Bucks are at?
At home.
And we
That's
actually
what-
in a
that's
better
what I'm
position than they are.
Yeah, that's
They got a bunch
Yeah,
of
but
uncertainty.
they did that move knowing they had that megastar.
right.
Period. And they made it work.
And they committed to this 4 or 5 years ago. It's now they're at the end of it now, where they're starting to pay for those risks that they took.
But they won a
but
ring.
when they were taking the risk was paying off for them.
But
not-
their risk was based on the fact they had the best player on the planet.
Yeah,
And think about it, they were a
and
contender
he
for
may
about a
have
3 or
left.
4 year
Remember, they
run.
did it
And
because
they
he
were
may have left.
already a contender with the best player on the planet.
And they were
Right,
a
but
contender for about 4 years straight.
yep. And the thing is Giannis. The rumor was Giannis was thinking about leaving, even though we all know now that was
It was just a
media
leverage
rumor.
ploy. It was just like a leverage ploy.
That's all. But they did all that stuff to get to cap hell, so to keep their superstar and to win a championship. And guess what?
It worked.
They accomplished both.
And
They
Freezy,
accomplished
to your
both.
point, this is the time you do go out and get those veterans that can take you over the hump, because you got a foundation. So now you need them people that you know you can count on.
But you
when
need
throw
to.
the ball out there,
But
the
here,
shot going in. And
here's
somebody
the
put in a
cautious.
good name in the chat when they brought in Buddy Hield. That's
Here's
a
a
knockdown shooter.
here's a cautionary tale though. You do that, and you might end up like the Atlanta Hawks, where you gave up 3 picks for DeJounte Murray, thinking he was going to put you over the top, and it didn't. And
That
now
was a
you're in
dumb
a
move
worse
anyway.
place,
That was a dumb
and you
move.
have less assets, and the rest of the guys on your team, the aging veterans that you do have on your team, they're on terrible contracts. You're paying guys like John Collins that don't really work for you. So
Right.
you don't want to overreact. Is my point, because Atlanta made
that's
Atlanta.
Dre,
Hold
Dre,
on,
that was
Breezy.
that was a
that's
dumb
a good
move
point.
though,
Hold on,
because they
hold
already
on,
had a point guard and you went out and traded for one.
hold on.
And DeJounte,
Hold
that
on.
was a dumb move.
It was a dumb move, but they thought they were appeasing Trey Young with that move. But
Trying to bring some help.
but here, that's neither here nor there. Atlanta made that run to the conference finals. They thought they were closer than where they really were. They made that move for DeJounte, and look where they're at now. You
They
have
got rid
to
of
be
Herter. They were a
careful.
better team. They was a better
You
team
have to
than
be
what they had.
careful. You have to be careful with these moves. You can't just say I'm gonna pick up a star veteran and plug and play and it's gonna work. It
Right.
doesn't work like that.
But Dre, also they took a calculated risk, right?
And
So
it wasn't that calculated to me.
but hear me out on it. Hear me out on it. They took a calculated risk, and the risk they took by getting rid of draft picks was they will get rid of draft picks in order to bring us DeJounte Murray, because if it works, those draft picks are going to be low in the first round anyway. If it doesn't work, we still have 4 super young prospects on our bench.
Mhm.
So it's not like we need to
Who
go out
are
and
they?
get Onyeka Okongwu.
He's not going. He's not a game changer like that.
Right.
He's okay. He's replacing Capella. Okay.
Right.
Let's go.
That's our opinion. But if they felt like he wasn't a good player, he wouldn't be there.
He's a good player, Freezy. I'm
Right.
not denying that.
Right.
He is not going to be the guy that puts them over the top back into the conference finals at any point, even if he develops. The problem with them is they gave out bad contracts, and
But
then
Dre,
they gave out.
but he is a young player with upside, right?
Yeah, but he's about to get paid.
Right. And that's that's all you want to get. Ultimately, what you want to get with first round picks is young players with upside. And so
But
they have AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, Sadiq Bey, Onyeka Okongwu, DeAndre Hunter. They have young guys. So even if they don't draft anybody in the draft, they still have young talent.
They ain't it outside of Jalen Johnson. None of them.
I understand that.
Well, but this is just my perspective on it. But you have to be careful. Like you have to make. Well, if there's
the
anything,
thing is, they're young, talented players.
yeah. But the thing is, if it's anything that this front office has shown is that they're calculated. They're willing to own up to their mistakes, but they're not going to overpay just to overpay.
Who's front office?
The Knicks.
No, yeah, I know the Knicks.
Howard.
No, I completely have them separate from the Hawks.
Yeah. 100%. I'm just saying that's
the Hawks will do something. The Hawks front office will do something stupid, bro.
But this is the thing. Like they're paying John Collins and DeAndre Hunter
and
the same money
and Bogdanovich.
The same money that we paying Julius Randle and RJ Barrett.
Right. No, I'm not disputing any of that stuff. What I'm talking about is when you evaluate the risk, when you evaluate the risk, like was getting rid of Kevin Herter worth getting back in the first round and giving Bogey an extension? No, no,
No way.
no. But they took the gamble and it didn't pay off. They thought that Bogey and Murray would be difference makers for them, and they turned out not to be.
And you
That's
know
a
the
But
crazy
caution,
thing is,
but that's a
but they're
cautionary tale.
right.
the
But
crazy thing
their
with that is,
fallback plan is we have young talent on the roster, so even if we don't have draft picks, we can still develop young talent.
Yeah,
and
y'all
you know the crazy
remember?
thing is, Freezy, when you
Y'all,
talk about Herter, Herter is the type of ball player that stresses a defense out because that guy does not keep still.
And he can pass with both. His most underrated thing, he can pass with both hands from 35 feet away.
Yeah,
And
he's
if Grimes could do that, I would be F that shooting. If you don't
and
shoot,
you
so what? But if
and
you
you
could,
know what else? He's aggressive. He is very aggressive.
yeah.
And I think Atlanta underestimated what they had, and because I'm gonna tell you, Trae Young and Herter was a problem together. Was a problem the way them guys played. I remember watching that series. I was like, hot dog, man. We got two of these guys that don't keep still.
Right. Yeah.
That stresses your defense out.
But if you're the Knicks, though, Dre, if you're the Knicks, you may be more risk averse than the Atlanta Hawks, right? But if the guy is out there that you feel like is that piece, I
go
think
for it.
I think unlike last summer, I think the Knicks pull the trigger this summer. Like last year, where it was like, yo, we not giving up 10 first round picks and 5 young players. This year, if that same thing is on the table, they like done.
And we have let's keep it real. We have I would like to say that we have a savvy front court front office versus like a Landry Field, somebody who's like fresh in this game, learning himself. So
right,
yeah, we don't have a joke of a front office no more. Them days over with.
Right,
and the best thing is that they don't talk. I love that.
Hey, let me ask you
now
this.
You love it. Now you love it.
Do you
I love it.
Do you think Tom Thibodeau pulls off a draft day trade with the Pistons and OKC for the 4th year in a row?
I wouldn't doubt it because in business is based off relationships.
maybe to get back in the first round.
Leon Rose, we
With a
know
bunch of
Leon
seconds.
Rose
You
was
good,
an agent
Dort?
before he came in this position. So it's real funny. We do a lot of business with OKC. I mean, even when we got Kimber, we went to OKC.
I would do RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for Cade Cunningham right now.
That ain't happening,
RJ
bro.
Barrett and you said RJ Barrett and who for Cade Cunningham?
And Quickly for Cade
Wow.
Cunningham. And the reason why I say that is because I think Detroit's going to get Scoot Henderson. And they're going to have the most athletic.
Tough,
they're going to have the most athletic backcourt you have ever
tough,
seen.
Man. He's
Scoot
tough.
Scoot and Jaden Ivey with some man. Yeah.
I don't.
Dre, would you do it? Would you put a backcourt together of Brunson and Cade Cunningham?
I like it.
I'm gonna tell you another team, a team that we got to keep our eyes on next season, man. And this team is young, but man, they are a problem. Orlando, man. Orlando's a problem, and they coming. They coming.
I say OKC. I still say OKC.
Yeah, OKC out west, and in the east is Orlando.
Yeah,
in the east is Orlando. That team is big at every position.
I think Indiana coming for a spot, bro. Indiana got their backcourt.
I wouldn't
of
sleep
the
on
future.
Indiana neither. That's
I would tend to agree with Ron on that one, Freezy.
With Orlando?
I kind of do see them more than I see Indiana. Indiana's still missing pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because Indiana has not made the move. My man, what's that Canadian boy? You know, the Canadian boy.
Ben Mathurin.
Ben Mathurin.
Oh yeah,
if they make the move, if they make the move to put him at the 2, out
That's
there,
coming.
then we got a problem.
That's coming.
Then
Hey, not only could they put him at the 2. Remember, they have a good lottery position. They might mess around and draft somebody in the top 5. They have a shot. They have an outside chance of getting Victor Wembanyama.
And they got a championship coach
Yeah.
that nobody talk about really.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let me go. Let me get out of here, man, because I gotta be up doing the Knicks morning drive at 9, and I got a bunch of reports I got to turn in by 12 o'clock.
Thanks,
You
man. I
ain't gonna be up
appreciate
there
it
now.
completely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be running them reports while people be up here complaining about Thibodeau.
Okay. Thanks, man. Thanks for your show and thanks for letting us have a voice, man.
Hey man,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Freezy, man. Shout out to everybody on the
Yes,
panel,
sir.
man, and shout out to everybody in that chat, man. Hey,
Yeah, man.
Great conversation.
this season is what it is, man, and it's good to be back in the playoffs. And more importantly, we ain't just came in that thing. We got to the second round, and who knows? Who knows if the Knicks
Go
pull
New
that thing
York,
off
go
Wednesday
New
night?
York, go.
If they pull that thing off Wednesday night, all the pressure flip on Miami.
All the pressure flip on Miami, bro. But all right, fellas, thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, chat, thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We gonna holler at y'all later. Peace, y'all.
All right, Frizz.